Testing, 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 testing. I better bring up all the windows while I'm at it. Here we go. Bringing up the windows. Let's go to that sushi, although, like, what's the point? I hope people arrive soon. Anyway, let's also load up 4chan. See if they got anything worthwhile here. Spoilers. Spoilers coming soon. Okay. What am I public? I'm public. Alright, cool. Oh, hey King. It's been a while. How are you doing, King? Okay. I hope so, King. I hope we get it tonight, man. Oh, hey, Viz. What's up, Viz? I'm loading up, I'm loading... Okay, that's aggressive. I am loading up 4chan, but 4chan is aggressive. I guess the Jiro Izuku ship is a strong ship. Or not a strong ship, it's a strong alternative. Let's see. Okay, so sushi is almost loaded on my side. Okay, and then on 4chan I see nothing. I see nothing so far. Wait. Yeah, no, I see nothing here. One second, guys. Just looking through 4chan, see if we get any fun stuff to talk about, but I don't think there is. Just a lot of degeneracy on 4chan in general, like always. Yep, just a lot of degeneracy. Okay, cool. Nothing worthwhile on 4chan. Ah, Anamim is here. Oh, King, it's great that you're busy with work, only because, you know, money. Oh, hey, Ty. Man, Ty, I like you a lot, Ty. You're cool. Let's see. How did you hear about Jujutsu author? Yeah, no, man. I wanted to talk to you about that, Chris. So I only saw the spoilers. Is there something else going on about it? I saw, like, Jujutsu Kai's going off for a month. Is there something else going on with the Jujutsu Kai author? Did you see the new Toga image Horikoshi drew? No, I didn't. It's on Horikoshi's Twitter. Twitter. Horikoshi. Just loading that up. I want to see what Ty's talking about.
There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Oh, okay. June 5th. Man, Toga, you're messed up, man. Yeah, he's super, like, great. That's great. I really hope she doesn't get tetanus. Well, actually, you can't get tetanus from going that way. What can you get? What can you get by ingesting blood? It's not tetanus isn't gonna happen. I was just thinking because like the knife's probably rusty, but she's probably not gonna get anything through that. What can you get through blood that could mess you up if you ingest it? Dang, I don't know. Hey, Jason. If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? Dirty like a lot of people's search history. I don't think the floor is clean. I don't think the soap is dirty either. Like, it depends. If you drop it in mud, like, I think the soap is probably dirty. Gotta wash that off. Hey, White Despair. Alright, guys, like, really... Oh, first announcement. Now that we have the main people here. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'll have a live stream tomorrow because I have to go do stuff. If anything, I might come on late, like later on this time, or maybe even like 30 minutes from now, just to talk about spoilers and then leave. But yeah, don't know about tomorrow. Just for now, consider that it might not happen, and if it happens, it'll be like a nice little, it'll be a nice surprise if it does happen. But yeah, that's for tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get something. Oh, Jason, thank you. So hepatitis A, B, C, H. Wait, HIV you can get it through ingestion of blood? Cause like it, I would have thought that the stomach acid would have neutralized the HIV virus, but okay. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought HIV was transmitted by other bodily fluids, not through ingestion. Oh, that's so interesting. Thank you, Jason. Oh, and King of Nerds also said it. I'm so sad Cleve Banner stuck. I'm C5 with Noelle and have started using her more since I'm making an animal geoteam. It's painful not getting the extra damage for her ult. Yeah. Yeah, I feel yeah. I got my Noelle up to C6, and I think I went hard on one of the banners, and I was really, really hoping that it wasn't going to screw me over. Now let's see. Is there anything to do? There's Eula. But I came here mostly to just talk to you guys, but I should do my chores while I'm playing Genshin here as well. Let's see, does Soga quirk give her immunity from diseases, also stain? I don't think so, Ty. Like, maybe it's like one of those like side effect type of things to make the story work better. You know, like how the Flash has anti-friction power because if he had friction power he would die. So maybe it's like that. I mean, if it was One Piece, definitely. If it was One Piece, the character would 100% have immunity to bloodborne diseases. Unless it was a plot point, in which case they don't. But yeah, actually, it's funny that Toga hasn't gotten herself killed by just like bad ingestion of like just someone's toxic blood. If it was Bleach and Toga was trying to ingest someone's blood, there's quite a few characters that would poison her flat out by ingesting their blood. I think Urahara might be able to do it. I think he might be able to modify the content of his blood, but there's a bunch of people later on. Like I assume Urahara would be able to do it just because he's a scientist, but that one guy with the death dose, he'd definitely be able to do it. And Mayuri would definitely be able to do it. Yeah. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if Toga tried. I wonder what would happen if Toga tried to drink the blood of a Shinigami though, because they're dead. Like, how would that work out? Always such weird power interactions. It'd be cool if shonen authors ever actually talked about it and talked it out between themselves about how powers would interact across series. Like, it would just be cool trivia. I'd really appreciate it. And it'd kind of make them feel a little bit like us, and just like they also theorize about pointless things. And that's how you build camaraderie. You talk about pointless things. So the Jujutsu Kai author is taking time off for a health reason. Oof. You remember that one time that both the Jujutsu Kai author and Horikoshi were taking the week off, and that was right after they had they went to watch Evangelion, I believe. That was funny. Oh, comments that I think Lady Nagant will die because there's no way All for One would not just make it a possible kill. No, it would be 100% kill. I mean, Common, I would hope so for those reasons, but like, I actually want White Despair to be correct here, because in my mind, there's a lot of things that I said, there's no way All for One wouldn't do this, this, and this, right? Like, in my mind, there's no way All for One would let Shizaki walk away with his quirk, right? But here we are. That's the only thing that throws me off. I feel like I'd be quite alright with Nagant surviving. And if Nagant survives, it just makes All for One look sillier, which I think White Despair would greatly enjoy at this point. Heck, I'd enjoy it too. Oh, this is a person. Lord and Surveyor. Is All for One technically a stockpile quirk? And if it's not, can NATO copy All for One then steal it? All for One is probably a stockpile quirk. Most likely. It's an accumulation quirk because he's accumulating extra quirks. Right? So if you imagine All for One like a container, that container is getting filled with the wine that is extra quirks. So he won't be able to copy the content of the quirks inside. I think that's a fair way of balancing it out. But then, but then, God damn it. And if he should still be able to copy the capability of All for One. So if he copies All for One, he can probably use the stealing aspect since that's a power itself. So he copies that aspect and he steals the quirk. I think that'd be the way to go about it. Like Monoma could wreck it. Like Monoma really like there's a few characters in the series that pretty much ruin the entire series. It's Aizawa, Eri, Overhaul, Monoma. If these characters were ever used to their fullest potential, especially Aizawa and Monoma, they end the series by themselves once they get close to All for One. We've talked about this before, especially Aizawa. Like, Aizawa could go for a technicality kill on All for One. I think it was White Despair that pointed it out last time, right? White Despair said, like, if Aizawa looks at All for One, the man shrivels up right then and there. Ah, yeah, Miguel. Kara follows VTuber, so she told me about Coco leaving. Let's see. One thing to keep in mind too, like, cause I think one of you guys might have mentioned it to me, but with Monoma, if Monoma copies One for All, and he passes it on to someone else, the quirk is probably going to dissipate because Monoma said he had a stipulation in one of his lines that unless the quirk, if like he said, I think if the quirk is affecting a person, it'll dissipate. But if it's not affecting a person, the quirk usually stays. So One for All would not Monoma wouldn't be able to cheat One for All out by that stipulation. Jump is making sure Jujukai author's taking care of it, so they are giving him a month of break. Really? Like, because if they're giving him a month, that means that he has like a severe problem, like way more than what Oda has. And like Oda gets like those, what, I think it's a monthly break, or break every month. Let's see, how important do you think Tokoyami will be in the future of the series? Not that much. He wouldn't be as important as Bakugo or Shoto in terms of screen time. He wouldn't get more screen time than Ida. He's stuck with Hawks, and Hawks is keeping him away. Tokoyami's also lame. But he's like the third run. He's third place for was he third place for the? Actually no, he has distinctions. He would end up getting more screen time than Mina. But that's, well, actually him and Mina might be roughly at the same level of screen time in the future. His quirk is that's probably safe. So if we were to give a hierarchy, Izuku at the top for screen time, Bakugo, Shoto immediately after, then Ira comes in immediately after those two, then Uraraka is there. After her, it would probably be Momo and Kirishima. And then after those two, we're looking at Jiro, Kaminari, Tokoyami, Mina. And then after them, most likely Shoji. Because he's going to get his spotlight arc, which will make it look like he's getting more attention. But yeah, that'd probably be the layers of screen time. So I don't see Tokoyami being all that important. Like, if we're looking at the guys who are going to be the big important ones coming up, we know for sure it's Shinzo, Monoma, and Shoji. And if you look at those characters, those three characters are these super underserved characters. Because of them being underserved, that makes it even more likely that Tokoyami, who was recently served because of the Hawk stuff, might not get more screen time. That's kind of how it would work out there. Just because of limited time frame. Do you think Mina's blood is acidic, and that would explain her pink skin? I don't know if her blood is acidic, but I think her skin is resistant to acid because like it's likely that she has something balancing out that quirk, right? She has anti-quirk frustration features. But yeah, I don't know about the blood being acidic itself. I mean, that'd be interesting. I mean, if I recall, Tsuyu's stomach acid, well, no, that's obviously acidic, but Tsuyu's stomach lining is also like a is poisonous. Is that how it works? It's the mucus that she has. Yeah, the mucus she excretes is slightly paralytic. Coco's final stream is gonna be like 4 a.m. for me. Oh, okay. To be fair, with HIV, it's unlikely. Okay, I was thinking of her like a vampire and that she ingests the blood with the fangs and it goes into her bloodstream for nutrients. Oh, okay, I get ya. Because I think about HIV, like if you have a cut in your mouth and you're like swishing the blood around, yeah, I could see you getting HIV that way. But yeah, okay, okay. If it's going directly into her bloodstream, okay, okay, there's the difference. I thought it was going to her stomach. Okay, gotcha. The author don't want the break, but jump making sure he's staying healthy. Okay. White Disperse says, "Hey Trip, I saw something recently that I thought you'd find interesting." Okay, it was another person online asking if the lightning effect on Izuku was physical or purely a visual effect. One person commented that it was purely visual because Eri wasn't affected by the extreme amount of energy coming off of Izuku when he went infinite 100%, despite literally being in contact with him. Oh, that's a good point. Huh. You know, I never thought of that. Huh. Wow. I guess the only way you could really argue against that would be to say that Eri's own energy aura would protect her. But yeah, you know it's unfortunate. The lightning is strong enough to make Izuku go Super Saiyan, like his hair sticks up. But I guess that's static cling. I guess it must just be static cling. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Here's a question. Do you guys think the Kimetsu no Yaiba special effects are just special effects, or do you think people are actually producing water and fire? What do you guys think about that? Like with other people like Buddy Guy, Zenitsu. Um he has physical stuff going on in the background, but yeah, I've always wondered about the Kimetsu no Yaiba stuff. Would quirks count as magic to the Black Clover universe, or would they count as magicless and vice versa? Quirks in the Black Clover universe would be closer to Ki, the way that Yami and Asta use it. And the reason I say that is because Ki is biological. Like, Ki in of itself is life energy. It comes out from your natural processes. Your breathing affects it, your body condition affects it, your mind affects it. Because of those stipulations, because it requires the a good body and the relationship to the body, I would flat out say they are closer related to that power system of Ki than they are to magic. So because of that, Asta wouldn't be able to use anti-magic on it. I could see like a few spots getting a little bit more interesting. Like if you have more conceptual powers, like say Ending's conceptual power of controlling road paint, I think the more you go into towards things that can only be justified by collective unconscious, I think the more you veer towards it being magic. But anything that has a biological base, like Bakugo having mutant sweat glands, I don't think that's going to be magic. That's going to be closer to Ki. It all revolves on which quirks are closer to biology and which ones are just flat out like this doesn't exist without human conception of a concept. Jason says there would be many factors like the individual's viral load as well if you have any cuts or sores in your mouth. Yes. Also, do you see the animation short of Pokemon? Poketoons? No, I didn't. I thought Poketoons was for really young children. Is it not? Hody said Monoma would do something significant in this last section. What do you think that is? Copying All for One, then using it to depower All for One? Too big? No, I think that'd be fine. I think you could have that. Like honestly, if you want to have Monoma do that, Monoma could come in there. He could be clutch, and he could come in there to be like a delayer. Because let's think of it this way: if he uses All for One on, say, Shigaraki, he could catch Shigaraki in a mental struggle, where like it's a battle in the mind, and so like you can imagine the two of them are just standing still because they're doing their mental shenanigans, and that could offer someone the 5 minutes they need to like really sock him hard, right? So if you look at it, Shinzo, Aizawa, and Monoma could all be potential saving graces. They could come in there with saving graces. Monoma could also do a lot of other things. Shinzo as well, and we know like most likely him and Shinzo are going to be tag teaming on that one, because him and Shinzo were said in the same breath for that particular line. Now, of course, you got to be careful because like Monoma can't Monoma can't take away Izuku's steam, but there's a lot of ways that Monoma could be very valuable. And that really comes down to him running interference. It's just like if he goes up against All For One's going to have the final laugh, unless he comes in right after Izuku beats up All For One and we're pretty much at the end, and Monoma comes in for the last save at the last minute, because that would be actually pretty okay. It all depends. It's all about the framing, right? At the end of the day, you have to be in a position where Izuku still comes out being the hero, and Monoma comes out being like the excellent supporting character. Because if you observe the excellent supporting character that shines, you would observe his rhetoric on that one. But if I'm looking at it, there's a lot of ways I feel like you can make Monoma work in that particular situation. Not just the ways that I pointed out. Like pretty much, you just need anyone to be in danger, and you need them to fight any tough villain, and Monoma could come in and really screw things up. Like heck, if he copies Shigaraki's decay right then and there, Monoma could take out all of the Nomu, and the Nomu would not be able to do anything about it. Like Monoma with Shigaraki's decay, if that kid grabs that, he pretty much will win against the army of Nomu that could come for them. But it's pretty much like that. Like if this was Bleach, you'd probably call Monoma, Shinzo, and Aizawa special war powers, because those three, their powers are so like their powers are so dependent on their enemy that the harder the enemy, the harder those three will be able to counter. I'm trying to think, because it would be really exciting of those three together. Let's see. Let me think of something else here. Yeah, no, Monoma copying Shigaraki and then being able to decay a bunch of Nomu would be a game changer on that one. On the other side, like on the villain side, Shigaraki is the special war power, along with Kurogiri and All For One. And the reason I say Kurogiri is because having a teleporter like Kurogiri is really dangerous, especially because he has coordinate-based teleportation. Like transportation is usually such a big deal in actual warfare that if you're able to just plop people behind enemy lines, and like we've seen how well this works for All For One when he was in Vigilantes, just popping out through Kurogiri's warp gate to take away people's quirks just randomly, right? Kurogiri would be like a really big war power if All For One actually utilized him as correctly as he did in Vigilantes. Imagine the type of power One For All would have if it was given to someone with the air cannon quirk. Oof, that'd be rough. Let's see. Poketoons was neat. A nice callback to the intro of red, green, blue, and yellow. Okay. Well, if you guys think it's neat, I'll check it out. Do you think Izuku will get All For One? Since All For One had One For All at one point, and that's how the public does not question his multiple quirks. Well, like let's clarify that real quick. Comment: he didn't have One For All at one point. He only had the stockpile quirk. But will Izuku get All For One? I mean, I assume you're meaning the stockpile quirk. I mean, it depends on if the author wants to do it. Like as written, I think there's a possibility that Izuku has a vestige of All For One inside of him. I mean, this has been like, come on, we've been talking about this since the very beginning. Of All For One might be spying on UA through Izuku. Mind you, that idea might be incorrect, but we ultimately believe that, or we have that in our minds, just because the way that One For All works right now is that we don't know what exactly is holding on to the vestiges. If the stockpile quirk should have a vestige inside of Izuku, even if it's like super rudimentary. So it all depends. If Horikoshi wants to come out there and he wants to say at the end of the story, hey, Izuku has an all for one power, and that's how he's gonna take away all for one's quirk, I'd be like, okay, yeah, cool. Thanks for finally telling us. We were waiting to see if this was gonna be the fact, because he's left it really vague. So I can imagine people are gonna say like, oh, that's an ass pull, but it's like honestly, in this case, it's probably one of the more solid ass pulls that you could have coming up later. It's significantly better than quirk awakenings or sudden quirk expansion. You should take Overhaul's quirk all for one. I'm a demon king, not a petty thief. I only manipulate people into giving me their quirks. I'm evil, but I at least have principles. Vistrio, that might be it. He has principles. God. He probably is super influenced by theatrics. I mean, I'm okay with villains that are influenced by theatrics, but God all for one, man. You make it horrible. Do you think Todoroki has the potential to compete against the pro heroes if he utilizes his fire ice power more instead of using basic moves? Oh, yeah, definitely. Shoto has a big advantage because he has versatility. Versatility is almost always going to give someone big advantages. And especially, like, he comes out of the... Look, man, Shoto comes out of the gate being able to give people frostbite. It's just like the author had to like back down from that, and he hasn't had him bring it up before or recently. But Shoto can really ruin people. Not to mention, Shoto has enough control to be able to summon a giant iceberg and only barely capture Zero. So, yeah, Shoto can take out like he's definitely would be in top 5 pro heroes once he has Judgment. Trip, the main reason why Rihanna got here to play a full dive was so stupid and petty. I haven't watched it yet. Oh my god, I haven't watched it yet. I didn't know it came out today. Oh no. Oh, I'm excited. Ooh. I am going to rag on it so hard. Uraka mentioned that Monoma was lying, referring to so she didn't see the lightning, so it's just a special effect and it's not actually there. That's another interesting observation. Like with that one, I just thought like when Uraraka said that he was lying, I just thought like, she saw the way he swung his arm out and it's like, yeah, if Izuku swung his arm out, I'd feel the breeze. That's what I interpreted it as. But yeah, all right. Do you think All for One? Sorry, thought I just heard someone whisper in my ear. Do you think All for One could be Izuku's father? I hope not. I really hope not. I'm not into it. I'm not into that idea at all. White Despair respond to Vistrio saying, common sense, use Overhaul to heal your damaged body. All for one. Why heal myself when I can create a copy of my consciousness, then have that copy take control of the body of my apprentice? I mean, yeah, why not? Well, why not? Every time you say how, I keep thinking about the Dorkly videos. Huh, neat. Demon Slayer is just a visual aid because it makes the fights more interesting. Otherwise, it would be playing sword fighting, and that's not as catchy in Battle Shonen. Okay, good. I've always wondered, Jason, and I've never wanted to bring it up because I didn't know how people felt about it. But thanks. Oh, John got an internet outage last night. Were you talking about the A words, John? You gotta be careful. We're not gonna be mentioning any of the A words tonight. All right? Because yesterday we got screwed over again. Yo, Drip, I'm on episode 711 of One Piece, but Luffy's still kind of weak. And how the hell is he going to beat Kaido or Big Mom? Unless he already fought them. What's going on in episode 711? Like, what arc are you in? I don't know the numbers, so you gotta tell me the arc. White Despair says, in Kimetsu, no, the effects are actually appearing. However, they aren't physical. Oh, if you're not skilled, they won't appear. Demon Slayer, they saved from this. Was actually a breath of water. However, he wasn't skilled enough to have the water appear. Huh. The acid is what made her pink, and that is how it affected her. She wasn't born pink, but became pink. Okay. I think she could just be born pink. I mean, it's a world of mutants, right? There's not really a big thing stopping her from being born pink. It's on YouTube. It's called Poketoons A Budding Dream, and it's just 13 minutes long. The style is the same as Twilight Wings. Okay, I'll check it out after the stream. I think Quirk could be better represented as chakra. Yeah, what Naruto doesn't use the proper definition of chakra, but in general, like that internal energy, it would be fine to say that. Chris says it looks like Naoya is going to be killed next chapter. Maki's trying to kill her own mother, but the mother killed Naoya. Yep. I read that part as well. I'm very interested in that. Monoma confronts All for One. All for One, what do you think you can do against the Ultimate Demon King? Monoma activated Razor. That would be great. Is Monoma ever in danger of self-destructive if he ever takes a quirk too powerful? No idea. Looks like his quirk will prevent him from taking accumulation, which is usually the big thing. Monoma's quirk probably has safeguards. Like if we're talking about, if we were to talk about singularity proof quirks, Monoma's quirk is probably one of them. Probably. Izuku's quirk is definitely singularity proof because Izuku's quirk has the capacity to put training wheels on him. Like Izuku's quirk, he can control output, and because he can control output, he's a fundamental antithesis to the idea of singularity, because singularity is based on uncontrollable power. So Monoma might have safety precautions set in his body. Like the time limit might be the Monoma safety precaution, because if he's copying that many quirks but he can only hold them for 10 minutes and he can only hold 3, that might be his body's way of protecting him. Also, I got a question. Can Luffy eat another devil fruit because his body is made out of rubber, so he won't explode, so he can eat another one? That's a theory, Omar. I don't know, because it's honestly weird. Like, devil fruits are locked to bodies, so I don't know. If Luffy has a strong enough body to hold it, maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, Blackbeard can do shenanigans, right? But Blackbeard has a lot of weird things going on. Monoma would just dust everyone around as he wouldn't be able to control it. Not if he uses the, the one touch, one kill thing. And that the decay wave does eventually stop. So I do think if Monoma gets the sense for it right, I think he'd be okay. It's kind of difficult because with Monoma, what you usually see is that he has extreme mastery pretty early on. Monoma need to go and get Kurogiri and copy, and boom, he have teleporting quirk. Yep. Looks like Nami and Zeus this chapter. Kind of disappointed we don't see Yamato Devil Power this chapter. I was too. Because I thought the One Piece chapter from the spoilers, it seemed like nothing really happened other than Nami doing stuff, so I was kind of disappointed. And Miguel came in. Wait, Trip. If the stockpile quirk is contained within One for All, then it wouldn't be able to manifest because it's part of the other stockpiled quirks, and those didn't manifest yet until Izuku. So the stockpile quirk shouldn't be able to manifest until that point as well. No, what I got confused reading that, but what I'm thinking for the stockpile thing is specifically the vestige, because All for One said that when he took the quirks, he had the nightmares of people, right? So that's why I think that the stockpiled quirk should have its vestige attached to it, because All for One says that the vestiges are attached to quirks even when he was taking them. So if the stockpile quirk has a weird interaction with the relative of All for One's quirk, such that it creates a situation where vestiges can be stored better, if the stockpile quirk is inside of All for One, I do feel it's possible to like finagle it to say that some piece of All for One was taken by stockpile, and maybe it wasn't like a strong effect. But overall, I think the fundamental reality is that the stockpile vestige should be in there by the definition that All for One brought up. But I don't know about All for One himself being dragged by the stockpile quirk. But it's just the interactions. I don't fully understand the interactions. Like the logic in this case, we're going like for an absolute variation here, where we're saying because the One for All quirk, because Yoichi's quirk had an interaction with stockpile, All for One must have an interaction with stockpile. That's the absolutist logic we're going with. Obviously, it's incorrect. Like we shouldn't just assume that's the case, because there's genetic variability between the two brothers. Like the quirks are related, but they're not the same. But that's just like the kind of thinking we go. If the author says that logic, because they are related, they both had an interaction with the All for One quirk, like a significant interaction, I'd be personally okay with it because it'd be him confirming it. But at this point, it's like, we can talk about the logic, but it's still really dicey. But overall, I just think that the author is giving himself a lot of leeway on this one. At the end of the day, I would honestly rather All for One not be in there, but I do think stockpile vestige has to be addressed at some point. That was one of the big advantages of Mongols. Their enemies would expect their arrival in a week, and they would be there in 3 days. Ah, yes. One for All seems to be connected to One for All because of the stock. Do you think All for One took over the original vestige for the stockpiling quirk? Oh god, I don't even know. I guess they explained that both the quirk of transplant and the stock mutated and formed a new quirk, and it's entirely original, and that's why it has no vestige. So what you're saying is the combination of the quirks together wipes out the vestiges, or wipes out the vestige of the one for, or the stockpile. Sorry. Oh god, wipes out the vestige of the stockpile. I don't see that. Like really, I don't see that. Only in the definition that we're saying, if it came together and combined, putting the properties of stockpile and the properties of the quirk that can be passed on together, if we're putting those two things together and then in their production we get a new result, the parts that make the new result should still be there. So that's why I would say it sticks, but I see what you're saying. What you're saying is the creation of the new thing wipes out the vestige. I guess it all depends on whether or not you think that the creation of the product is greater than the parts. I mean, again, like this is why Horikoshi has a lot of leeway. Like this is one of those places where the guy can legitimately say whatever he wants, and we could work back the logic, and we could make like a logical situation here. It's just kind of annoying. Like, do you guys know in math how sometimes an equation can have like 5 solutions or something like that? Or what's it called in math when algebra? You know, when it's like x equals minus 4, x equals 4. You know those binumeral or polynumeral equations? Is it polynumeral equations? You guys know the ones because this is like a big thing in high school. But you know how like equations, when you have 2 variables in there, you can quite literally have many solutions. This is pretty much what the author has done tier 2. There's many possible correct solutions here that will lead us to the same that will lead us to the final result. Ty said, ever since the last My Hero Academia, I've been on a few YouTube channels, and there have been so many people saying they dropped the manga at this point in the story, and anime fans are saying the writing is garbage. Really? Yo, Ty, Wait. A few YouTube channels. Are you saying that commenters are saying it, or are people saying it in videos? Because I would love to see what exactly they're arguing. I love seeing what people argue. I would 100% respond to, in kindness, right? It wouldn't be like being a dick. I'd be very nice. I'd be 100% nice. But that's interesting. Good. I knew we always talk about this happening. I mean, you can go back to very critical points in Hero Academia where I tell you, like, yeah, get ready. This is going to be another point where people are going to start souring on the manga. Yeah, great. So for those that don't know, this is a natural part of a manga's life cycle. The longer it goes on, the more it gets limited, and the more limited it becomes, the worse it gets for people because people aren't getting what they ultimately envisioned. This is just par for the course. I'm just very interested. I'm always excited when this happens, because I love seeing people's idealism get crushed. It's because people it's just I think people idealize authors way too much. Imagine being Monoma and seeing everything Izu can do with One for All, and then finding out you aren't allowed to get it because of the rules of the universe or something. Well, Viz, if you look at it, especially in the last episode, Monoma already understands that the rules of the universe has screwed him over, but Monoma is the kind of person that says, yeah, I know I don't have the best quirk, but I'm not going to hate myself for it. So given that Monoma doesn't hate himself, he's one of those characters that's going to do the best of what he has. Like, he's well adjusted. Aside from the horrible complex he has with 1A. But when it comes to not feeling bad about himself, he's more or less well adjusted. When it comes to his self-image, he's good. It's frustrating to listen to and hear. The opinions I hear the most is Deku's supposed to be an underdog, and All Might could defeat All for One without many quirks. It's getting ridiculous. Oh, okay. Izuku's supposed to be an underdog. I mean, like, unfortunately, Izuku still is an underdog because there's high-end Nomus and All for One and Shigaraki in the world. Um, but even in other shonens, like your underdog status goes away as you approach the end. Like, come on, Naruto becomes God by the end. Like when Naruto's in the war, Naruto is not an underdog, and that war lasts for a very long time. When you go into Bleach, Ichigo is not an underdog. By no means of the imagination is that man an underdog. It's hard to imagine Ichigo being an underdog because at many critical times Ichigo's like the one that can save everyone and like is a secret weapon. When you have a man being called a secret war potential in the final arc, that's not an underdog. So at this stage in the game, it's actually kind of funny that Izuku is still an underdog. And then for the All Might could defeat All for One without many quirks. I understand that, but at the same time, All Might's a genius for whatever reason and was able to master One for All without big problems. He mastered One for All so much that dead people are willing to say that One for All became his actual quirk. Oh God, horrible propaganda. Yeah, nah, man. Welcome to Shonen serial escalation. For Izuku in this situation, All for One, like, All Might beat All for One, but he didn't actually win the war. All for One was able to crawl back to his little lair and regroup and regrow his dickhead, right? So it's not really a big defeat. And then All for One was able to regroup. It's unfortunately because All Might did not have more quirks, it's probably why All for One survived. Because of All Might's weakness, we're now in a situation where All for One has raised the perfect bomb, and that bomb is about to go off, and it's going to be terrible. Like heck, one day and already a city gets wiped out, and 19 more cities get run over. Again, all you could say that All Might defeat All for One. That's not a defeat. He only won a battle. He didn't win the war. All for One got the last laugh when he wrecks 19 cities by his command. Well, not by his command, but part of his machinations. Random Trainer says, Trip, have you seen any of the mini dragon OVAs of Miss? Yeah, no, Random. I don't like Miss Kobayashi Dragon, so yeah, not my thing. 711 is the Dress Orchestra art close to the end. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chris. So let me go back to Omar's question there. Omar was asking like, how is Luffy gonna be able to beat them? Okay, yeah. How the hell is Luffy gonna beat Kaido or Big Mom? Guy, that's the same question we had at that stage of the game. I honestly don't know what to tell ya. We didn't know what was gonna happen, and right now we're like do you remember how Alabasta went with Luffy losing multiple times against his first warlord? That's pretty much what's gonna be happening, because this is what happens in One Piece. Luffy's gonna lose a bunch of times, and as long as he doesn't die, he's gonna come back and be able to win. If he was his father, he would have told All Might at that time to break him. Yes, I agree. Didn't Mina used to have normal skin in her eyes, but her body adapted, and that's why it turned her skin pink? Oh, did she? Because I might have forgotten. If that's on her character profiles, I might have forgotten that. All for One quirk to me is give, take, stockpiling. Isn't All for One the first user of One for All? No, he's not the first user of One for All. It shouldn't be. Also, that he can't use all his copy quirks is another safeguard, I assume. I would assume so as well. Best Joker line in comics: what, you're an actual Nazi and that's no crazy getup? I've been working with a Nazi, maybe a villain, but I'm an American villain. Oh, excellent. Oh, I know that one. Yeah. Oh, I'm close to the end. Yeah, what? Even Joker has his limits on evil. Hey, Sarge. Trip, how did you know Blackbeard got 2 devil fruits? Omar, I'm caught up with One Piece. If you're in Dressrosa, like, you should know that he also has 2 devil fruits, right? Yeah, like Blackbeard has Whitebeard's and his Darkness devil fruit. Imagine Aizawa with Danger Sense and Quirk Erase. Oh, that'd be good. And he's Mr. Amon? I don't know. One Piece came out late last night, and then like, this guy never we all know how this goes. When I leave, the spoilers will come up and we'll be sad. We won't be able to talk about it. I'll have to make a video tomorrow morning. I wonder how chill I'll be tomorrow morning. I hope I'll be super chill. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I'll check. There's nothing on Atsushi from what I could see here. Um, Not on the backup, and then nothing that I can see on 4chan. Just a lot of degeneracy on 4chan actually. Like a ton of degeneracy. Like really pounds and pounds of degeneracy. They are really degenerate today. Usually they're not this bad. Okay. Cool. Anyway, I do like how they're covering the season in Slime Diaries. Oh, great, great, great. Hello, Lee. Let's see. The two quirk did a type of fusion dance, and this made the current version we know. I don't mean the stockpile vestige just banished. Maybe it got combined with Yoichi. Oh, that's interesting. I've always found it kind of silly when people say that Deku's supposed to be an underdog, and therefore the writing is bad because he's strong. Considering that at the start of the story, we're told that this is the story of how he became the greatest hero. Even the other students may think very highly of Izuku. Ida and Uraraka both view him as the definition of a perfect hero, and Todoroki specifically makes a declaration of war with Izuku during sports festival. Honestly, aside from Bakugo, the only one who ever looks down on Izuku is Izuku himself. Not exactly the typical underdog that people try and say Izuku is supposed to be. Yeah, I would agree, right? Like, Izuku, let's face it, he's one of the worst moments for Izuku, and we talked about this, but was when Izuku's self-esteem was so bad he tried to give Mirio his quirk. Like, you guys really, it cannot be understated how lucky it is that Izuku's been given an actual reason as to why he can't give his quirk away, because otherwise it kills people. Like, Izuku definitely still had, I'm just like going off of White Despair's point about Izuku having his, his self-esteem issues. Izuku has crippling self-esteem issues. It's gonna take him a while to really figure that out. And like, I feel like the current stuff is still a manifestation of self-esteem issues. It's just this is self-esteem taken. This is what happens when you have a person that doesn't have good self-confidence have to take charge of a situation. They're just not well. Their mind isn't well established enough to be able to look at all the nuances properly. Like, Izuku is still wearing some kind of goggle. Mind you, like, this is also just because of Izuku's perceived responsibility and everything. Bakugo's gonna have like a field day with him. Also, if Shigaraki has All for One, so that means he has the vestiges. Wouldn't that mean Shigaraki also has the vestiges of those quirks? I would think so. But I don't know. Like, if you copy a quirk, do you copy the vestige with it? I don't know. Like, it all depends on what kind of pseudoscience Horikoshi is referencing. Like, if he say, like, Jason probably knows about this. A few of you probably know about it. But genetic memory, that's a pseudoscience. People say genetic memory passes on. If we're saying genetic memory is a thing, and a memory can be actually quantified within your genetics, like, say there is a cell that contains the memory in... Actually, how does that even work? Let's say there's a strand of DNA that contains memory. If you copy that, then it stands to reason you copy the genetic memory, right? So it would stand to reason that the vestiges are inside of Shigaraki. But mind you, like, All for One says he sees vestiges as nightmares, right? So they should be like really weak vestiges. Like, if you're watching 86, it should be a guy shouting over and over in your ear. It shouldn't be intelligent vestiges that can gain new information. We should assume that's something that's... Shit, no. No. We can't assume it's only the One for All quirk that does it. Because All for One does it as well. Like, All for One's vestige is fully formed. Or not fully formed, but it's intelligent. Yeah, no. Okay, we should assume that All for One and One for... I hate this. I hate everything about these stupid quirks. Yeah, probably safer just to assume that vestiges are only special when the All for One and One for All vestiges are only special ones and everything else is dumb. That's probably the best way to go about it. God, I hate them. I wonder if he kept a copy of the stockpile quirk. No, that's before the doctor. Also, let's see. He couldn't copy One for All, but he could copy the base smoke screen, for example. Now that Izuku has it unlocked. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, whatever the guy wants to do at this point. The protagonist starts as an underdog. They don't stay an underdog forever. Basic storytelling. One YouTube channel is King of Lightning, who has almost 200. Most of the comments said they dropped the series at this point since they made Class 1A useless. He says it's like War Arc Naruto. I mean, War Arc Naruto had a lot of problems. Like, War Arc Naruto was pretty much... War Arc Naruto is the biggest statement that Naruto had horrible world building. Because if you look at War Arc Naruto, it did two things. One, it was a lazy way of showing off all the Kekkei Genkais of the other countries that you never got to see in the series proper, because the guy never covered them. Like, again, it's funny that this guy wanted to make a space series when he was so terrible at world building in Naruto. And then it also served to give people impossible closure. Like, when you have zombies being revived and you have characters being able to talk to them and get closure, you know, that is wish fulfillment closure. There is no bigger example of wish fulfillment closure. It's like you made all your mistakes. Well, you know, like it's a manifestation of all the mistakes that Naruto made, but in the other one, it's like a lot of nice things being given to characters. A lot of characters are given peace that they otherwise would not get. In a lot of ways, a lot of characters need to thank the war for happening, because that war really brought them together and fixed them, or gave them their last little bit of peace. Like, come on, the peace that Gaara gets, like, he wouldn't get that peace without that war. The peace that let's see, who else got peace there? Oh, Tsunade. Yeah, Tsunade got it. Shikamaru got it. Yeah, so many characters benefit from that thing. Yeah, Naruto War Arc is definitely an interesting talking piece, because it's pretty much it's wish fulfillment in a really weird way. I think, like, it's really cool to have it just for a case study. Oh, how do you think Oh, okay, got you, Omar. Yeah, how do I think Blackbeard has two devil fruits? Well, Omar, I think he ate his twins in the womb. I think he's got two other bodies inside of him, or something like that. I think Blackbeard's really weird. I think Blackbeard has something that allows him to store multiple devil fruits without it breaking him. Because, like, Blackbeard's flag has 3 skulls on it, so it kind of feels like he has 3 things going on. I mean, I hope he doesn't have like a third devil fruit with a Cerberus or something. Vistrio said, I hope Endeavor and Gina show up in the next chapter, maybe talk some sense into shocked Izuku. Maybe we get a look at All Might noticing the massive explosion and fearing the worst. Wait, isn't it this is the story of how I became a great hero, not the greatest hero? I don't think it... You know, we can argue, we can split heroes over this. All that matters is that he's great or above. Let's just say that. This is the story of how I became a great or above hero. Because I remember that there's just a lot of complication about what exactly is going on. Now I'm going to go look at the first chapter of Hero Academia. Is it in the first chapter of Hero Academia? Or is it in the second? This feels like it's in the second. I'll go check the second. You know, people always quote that line, but I personally don't really care about that line. Like, to me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's gonna be cool, right? That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Izuku's gonna be cool. Okay, guys, actually, I'm gonna go look through the second chapter right now. But maybe it's in the first chapter. I think I might have gotten this wrong. Let's see. Let's go back to the first chapter. Okay, there we go. I forgot to mention this, but this is the story of how I became a great hero. Okay, so in the Viz Media translation, it's how he became a great hero. Good for Izuku. Good for him. Gonna become a great hero. pretty arrogant to say, you know, just tell us right out that this is how he became a great hero. I'm joking. $30 for a Digimon starter deck, that's a lot. Class 1B in the anime, not exactly an underdog anymore. Oh, yo, Armor, no worry about it. Sorry, I just got confused, man. The latest chapter for Shield Hero manga came out, and Glass stopped herself when she said, "I love." Okay, since Izuku values himself so little, it feels like his actions always speak to him thinking he isn't worthy if he isn't doing something to help people, and that's why he sacrifices himself so easily. Yeah, definitely. He doesn't care for himself enough. They all knew he could crush their entire team. And since he can't give the quirk away to someone more worthy or capable, he's just stuck in the feedback loop of building himself up and to be dragged down through his crumbling tower forcefully. It's mistranslated. In English, it does say great hero, but it's supposed to be greatest. It's correct in Japanese. Oh, Mega Green Kirby. I go on Manga Freak, so Mangafreak. So you can check out Manga Freak. Like Shield Hero Manga Freak. Just Google that. Let's see. Now going back to this. Why would Viz not correct it? Why did Viz not correct this situation? Or is it corrected in print? Actually, no. Oh, guys! Holy crap, guys! Okay, you know what this calls for? You guys, I want to talk about a topic. It starts with A. I'm holding myself back, but I don't know if I can hold myself back for much longer. You know it's not at sushi. I just realized he starts with an A. I don't want to talk about at sushi. There's another topic I want to talk about, but I don't know if I will. It starts with A and ends with Ian. Oh man. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, everyone, get your last minute thoughts in right now. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so happy. I've been having a miserable day, guys. Like this is a nice little thing here. Oh, guys, by the way, do you remember an anime? You probably don't, but maybe Random Trainer. I feel like Random Trainer might have watched it because Random, you seem to watch a lot of stuff. But apologies if I'm wrong, man. But I think it was a video game adaptation or a promotional anime for a video game. But does anyone remember? Shoot, what is it called again? Blade and Soul and Blade, Blade and Soul. Because I was just looking at the ending for that one. Because like the ending, oh yeah, Blade and Soul, because it's based on a game or something, right? An MMO. And I was looking at the ending theme, and I just remembered the ending theme because it sounded so nice. It made me feel really happy when I was younger. And then I was looking at the ending animation, and I saw this girl's boobs. They were just jumping all over the place. It's like someone had water balloons shoved into her shirt, and she was just going at it. I don't know why I brought that up. Just like a funny little thing. It just reminds me boob physics have really not improved. Not at all. Like this thing is from 2014. Boob physics. It's like they perfected this technology back in 2012, and they've been riding on it ever since. Anyway, just in case anyone wanted to chat about that. Let's see. He said a great hero. Okay, in the manga and greatest hero in the anime, that line really matters is all men. The line that really matters is all men are not born equal. Yeah, that's the line that matters when it comes to Izuku, because he starts it like really pessimistic. I mean, he said the power-ups Naruto were given in the war what crazy and broke the power scaling. It says it happening to Deku. Another thing is because a lot of people hate Deku as a character. Yeah, I know people hate Deku as a character. You see the hate that Deku gets? Oh, just you wait till what happens to Ochako. It's gonna be great. But the power that the war did escalate quite a few things, but it was Naruto getting a lot of things just to make him able to take out Madara. Like the real problem was Madara was too much of a hurdle, but it was a one-time power-up. They lost the majority of it. I don't really care that much about it. Like Naruto just started giving people chakra left, right, and center, and it's pretty much like, okay, if Naruto's gonna be a battery, then everyone can do whatever they want. I wouldn't say it broke power scaling for Naruto. Not really. I found it alright. Didn't really bother me all too much. I would have assumed, since how can he be the greatest without seeing the rest of the world outside of Japan to compare? Yeah. Any opinions? Okay, no, I got that. I still wish they had given us a backstory on that character Deku saved when he was a kid from Bakugo and the other two kids. Trip, it's roasting time. The A-man. People assume the anime was a later correction. Second movie, him being a great hero. Series will be greatest hero. Let's see. Let me reload at sushi here as well. Okay, guys. Just if I'm a little bit late on figuring out what's going on with the sushi, apologies. I'm trying to read the comments here while doing this. I'm gonna just back out. I'm gonna just back out of Genshin on my screen, just so I can have both screens to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm still on soon. Okay, time to get the stream. Even my volume says greatest hero. Even my says great hero. That was an L. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'm getting blocked again. No, going rogue. Early, My Hero Academia has absolutely terrible translations. Remember when All Might explained his quirk to Izuku and told him his quirk was all for one? Remember in the sports festival Izuku said to Todoroki, I haven't put a scratch on you yet? Oh, hey, Skelly. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember that. Remember, Viz still hasn't fixed Cultural Festival. Oh, yeah, every time I look at that page, it's like, guys, fix it. Lena Soul, I haven't seen, but I played the MMO. Oh, okay, interesting. Is the MMO good, man? Oh, Random Trainer knows it. Okay, I'm glad you knew it. I never knew Trip was a boob guy. Oh, yeah, Omar, I'm a face and chest kind of guy. I think we've talked about it before, but maybe you weren't around. Talking about games, I feel like they could make a mobile gacha game based on 86. I don't think it has enough pretty girl characters, you know? I think like they'd be losing out on the potential, the money making potential. I wonder what it takes to make a gacha game. Like, not I know what it takes for me to make a gacha game. I'm not gonna do it because I don't have. For those that don't know, I have no idea what to do with server type programming. I've never worked on servers, so I don't. I have no idea. I can only really make offline games if I was to try. But yeah, for the gacha game, I don't know. For 86, I think you need a lot of really pretty characters. Bandai did price Digimon card, animating them. Speaking of war, I'm curious how the anime can make the meteor reveal actually hyper worth seeing because it was so lackluster and anticlimactic for him. I think it all relies on that moment where Burning gets helped. I think if they can build, I don't know. You know what the anime is probably going to do because the anime sucks at this. It's probably just going to flat out. Okay, still on soon. I think Atsushi takes about 18 minutes between uploads. So we probably have another 9 minutes of waiting. But they're probably gonna have like the same build up in the anime, and then it'll just be suddenly the screen of him popping out, right? Like they never really animate special effects that well. Or how the doctor said to Alpha, it'd take at least another 5 years to achieve hyper regeneration. Was supposed to be if only we had super regeneration 5 years ago. Yeah, I remember Sarge really going hard about that distinction. Oh, okay, wait. An observation of manga chat regarding the use of the word hate. In Japan, the word for hate is kirai, which is a word that is used in multiple contexts. Oh, thank you, Miguel. Whenever, I do wish it was in English, because if it was in English, we could really talk more about word choice. Because like high tier authors will be really careful about their word choice. And you can sometimes see that in other series when they play word games, like especially if they're like activating a proverb to talk about it. You know, you'll usually find that there's some very subtle nuance in how it goes. I mean, especially if you have like a legalese series, a series that revolves around contracts, and you need to like make little tricks in the words. Being able to follow language is worthwhile. But then, like, if you have a series like that coming from Japanese to English, it gets really tricky. Anyway, with this one, thanks, Miguel. I always try to be careful whenever we go into splitting hairs over words. I really do wish that it was English first, because then at least it'd be a different conversation. If I could talk more about English first philosophy or like highly philosophical series, it'd be a really interesting time. Let's see, but I'm not a booktuber. I think I could do it if I was in booktube, but I'm not a booktuber. Also, I was looking at another booktuber. He has like 200,000 subscribers. He has a lot of books. Wow. But yeah, I was looking at him because I always look at my competition. I was looking at the book that he released, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. It's pretty short story. It was I don't remember his name, but he had made a post about he made a video about like what not to do in sex scenes or whatnot. I found it really funny. Anyway, just letting you know as I wait for Atsushi. Let's see. But what they have in common is that it's used when something makes you feel uncomfortable. Oh, okay. Sorry, Trip. Legs and bottom is where it's at. You should know since you saw prison school. The principal speaks the truth. Oh, come on, man. I'm not. Yo, man, that principal. I'm not. Did you read all the manga for that guy? Like, I'm not. I don't want to be like the principal, man. I'm all about the face. Look. The face is what matters at the end of the day. Well, for long-term relationships, it might not matter if it's like a very short-term thing, but face and chest. It has a great attack system, how the skills connect with others, and good story, but the optimization is trash, and the company from Korea is making it too farmy RNG and wanting cash. But they're finally trying to fix stuff by changing the system to UE4 this year. Okay, and maybe it'll get better because it's sad, such a good game going bad because of the makers, not listening to players. Oh, Miguel. Oh, sorry, not Miguel. Mega. Thank you for responding. I saw that they were doing Unreal Engine 4 because I was doing some research. But okay. Interesting to know, man. Interesting to know. So the choice of the word hate, I think, was to characterize Nagant as radical. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Miguel. So she is trying to be radical on that one. Okay, good to know. Good to know. It's just like whenever I think about Japanese, I know that language is very good at expressing many emotions or many degrees of emotions with different words. So I do like looking at it, and I do like when authors do wordplay. It's just unfortunate that you have like lackluster translators sometimes. I don't want to start a fight with Viz because I've seen how Viz freelancers fight back, and they're not worth fighting. God, Viz freelancers are really toxic. Mind you, it's because they're on Twitter, which is already a toxic community, and they really shouldn't be on there. Okay, like guys, seriously though, how many waifus could Trip create and the backstories? Wait, did I miss someone's? No, I didn't. COVID caused Digimon to be pricey. Do you know about Vocal Pineapple? Yeah, I know about Vocal Pineapple. I used to look what videos he made back in the past to see if I could learn anything from his style, but I haven't seen him in a long time. I mean, as I got busier like in the last year, I haven't really watched other YouTubers unless you guys ask me to. So King of Lightning, huh? You know, it's funny. With King of Lightning, that's one of the YouTubers I started watching. So like back in the day, this would be like before 2015. The YouTubers I had watched were for Neverworld. He was my introductory. I watched King of Lightning, Chibi Reviews, Roger's Base, and Sawyer 7 Mage. I believe those were the 5 that I really kept going back to. And I liked King of Lightning. I found him quite funny. To think, I'd be interested in seeing what he wrote. I'm still waiting for the Safety Commission president to be revealed to be pulling cigarettes. If something like that actually happens, I'll laugh so hard. Yeah, he hasn't been doing much lately. Oh, Vocal Pineapple. Oh, you know what? I saw that Truth Hero had him put up a video in like a month or so. And I thought, okay, like this is really petty of me, but just so you know what competition does to me, I thought, good. In this wasteland of views, I out-survived you. Good. Like a cockroach, I will survive till the end of YouTube. I do not know how much money I will make, and I do not know if it will be a good investment of my time. But I will survive till the end of YouTube. Yeah. No, I wonder what exactly stopped Truth Hero from posting, because I don't follow him, but it was interesting. Me personally, like, I'm still going to be doing the videos. I'm still going to be doing as much as I can. It's just kind of hard because I have to balance work, and work is, because my YouTube right now it's really dying, so I have to like try and get back in the good graces of the search algorithm. So I'm making anime viewer guide videos, and then like I hope to one day have anime review videos as profitable as chibi reviews, because at least then I'll be able to support the channel better. But yeah, I hope to continue surviving in YouTube somehow. Anyway, that's just like talking about YouTube as I wait for Sushi to write stuff. If anyone has questions about how the YouTube game in general works, or how the YouTube algorithm treats me in particular, I can always let you know. But let's see. The next. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it. Okay. Oh, and it took 16 minutes for him to write it. So guys, I think we are waiting roughly like 18 minutes between posts. So I think by 11 o'clock, we should have like 3 more postings. If we get more than that, that'll be great. So the next, okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think it could be? Like the next. Is it the next villain? The next quirk? The next explosion? The next villain? At least we aren't limited to Viz with Culture Festival and we can watch the anime. I like Pineapple, but then he dropped off the earth. Oh wait, so is he officially... Is his channel dead? I didn't think that he would have gone off the world. I really am going to be a cockroach. I always thought I could be a good cockroach. I always thought it. Like now I know. If I ever get isekai'd into a Gundam world, I'm 100% gonna have. I'm 100% going to have hardcore Patrick energy. Man, you know, some YouTubers have such great visual effects that I don't know how to copy. Huh. Oh, I'm looking at this here. Looks like my views are comparable to him, but I'm just looking at the analysis here. But man, even with him not posting, he still beats me by thousands of views. I wonder why he stopped. Well, he's probably coasting on the money. So 3 months ago, then 1 month ago. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll just keep cockroaching. Let's see. If you want a true pick for the My Hero YouTuber side, Oceans is peak at being one. Yeah, I was looking at Oceans the other day because Miguel talks about him a lot, just to see what he was, what kind of points he was making. And it's like, okay, cool. That was neat. There's one video I want you to react to, as I want your opinion on what they had to say. It's a different channel from Vocal, but they do talk about, and I do want to hear your thoughts on it. Oh yeah, sure, Vistrio. I've done a reaction video to another YouTuber before, Turtle Quirk. So yeah, let me know what video it is. Oddly enough, I forgot about the anime for the childhood friends. Yo, random guy. Good on you for forgetting it, man. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, so we got like another like 13 minutes before things go. I like the streams, but do you think you should put more time into making videos instead of that's the case? No. No. Animamus, the streams came out as a... So, Animamus, maybe you don't remember, but the streams came out as a product of, that time, then, that the time that that YouTube took down my channel, like that whole month that I was left without income from YouTube, that's when the streams came out because I started the Patreon. Like I haven't been able to keep a lot of Patreon promises because I don't have enough time, unfortunately. But the streams are one of the few things I promised back during that time that I was able to make. So the way I internalize it is that the Patreon, the little bit of Patreon money I do get goes towards making sure I can still do the streams. That's pretty much how I interpret the situation. And honestly, not gonna lie, I actually come to really like the streams. Like I've told you guys this before. Like I think the last time we talked about this was back when we had like 18 people in general. But I really like the streams. I like talking to you guys. I like having this little group of people that I understand. Like I understand White Despair. I understand Animamus. I understand Ty. I understand Sarge, Black Fox, Vistrio. I'm coming to understand you. I understand Mega, because Mega shows up sometimes on the Discord server. I understand Prower, right? I like having this line of communication, because I don't really have time to communicate through other means most of the time. So, like in my mind, I just tell myself, like, it's 5 hours of my day at worst, and I'm talking to people that actually care about the channel, and I feel like I'm being supported by the Patreon, and the Patreon, like, it's also like this is a way to give um a bigger connection, a bigger opportunity for people to talk to me and all that kind of stuff. Ideally, we never get to 100 viewers, honestly, because it's going to be too hard to kind of maintain. And if that happens, we'll figure out another way to keep the private group with the regular crew. But it's just like that's how I internalized the entire problem. I just want Toga to show up. She's the OG female League of Villains member. Just hope her return doesn't have anything to do with Ochako. It'll just be lackluster. Yeah, 18 minutes between posts. The next conversation is to talk no jutsu. The next conversation to talk no jutsu. Oh, okay, I getcha. The next hero or assassin that's going after. Next step, possibly. If they learn info about All for One, then they know their next step. Oh, okay. What if it's like the next person who takes the mantle or something like that, like the next All Might, the next Endeavor, the next sacrifice. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be tricky. I hope he didn't mistranslate it. Vocal is super active on Twitter, but he doesn't upload very often. Oh, that's like a horrible exchange. Why be active on Twitter when you could be making stuff? You should see the King of Lightning reaction to Deku vs. Overhaul. That was pretty funny, especially the references he made in the video. Oh, okay. The man treats a lot of bull on Twitter to make up for not uploading. Okay. Possible info on Shigaraki or Izuku. Just spitballing here, considering the next is your turn. Oh, yeah. I feel like the next. I'm so curious, man. I'm so curious. Okay, I'll put up. Holy shit, Vocal tweets so much. Oh, hey, Red Vaporeon. Thanks. You must be really handsome too. I also see Plot Armor made a return to making my hero videos. Oh, he made a return. Guys, I never left. I want to make it clear. I never left. I've been cockroaching this entire time. Like heck, I haven't left so hard that I'm still trying to figure out how to succeed. It's probably because I don't tell people to subscribe to my videos, to the channel. Like, I don't like telling people to subscribe. This feels like a lot. I wouldn't be a good marketer. I don't like imposing on people. It makes me feel pretty shitty. Let's see. But Plot Armor returned. I feel like the next it's your turn is kind of good. I feel like that's a good idea. I really hope it's not next assassin. The next. Yo, it'd be funny if it's like the next Yakuza boss. Manga who has been boring to me nowadays. It's more webtoon and manhwa. Oh, okay, yo, Going Rogue. What do you read on webtoon? But then if it was about the second, it would be called The Last, as it's the quirk to be unlocked. Well, that's a good point, Matt. That's a good point. Well, Black Fox, I understand what you're willing to accept from me. And I know, like, let's face it, the fact that you like this Okay no Soma reviews really makes me very happy. Oh, Sorry says it feels nice to not feel like a number in the chat and can help with your content indirectly. Oh, yeah, definitely. Talking to you guys definitely does help. It like, keeps me grounded kind of thing. Let's see. I'm trying to find out why he quit YouTube. Us 3 regulars to the streams are your hardcore. Yeah. Should I put the video and suggestions on the Discord with specifics on timestamp? Oh, hey, Dylan Brown. Oh, thanks, Dylan. Nice. Thank you. The next fateful meeting. So, Viz, yeah, if you can't put it here, please put it on the video suggestions because I'll read it tomorrow and see what's going on. And guys, like, legitimately, if you want me to ever defend an idea from another YouTuber, I honestly don't mind. And it's not going to be drama or anything like that. I'll be really kind. I'll be really courteous. I'll give my ideas. It'll be like that. Like, I don't mind doing it. Like, I like engaging with people's rhetoric more because I can usually attack them a lot more when I'm actually attacking rhetoric. Because I'll get really vicious. I like getting really vicious. I was in politics at one point in my life. I like getting really vicious when people say the wrong word. And man, I like it when people get... Well, no, I don't like it when people get vicious on me. But that's the name of the game. But I wouldn't do it. But if you ever feel like you need an idea put out there, just let me know. even if even if I don't agree with it, I might just try and argue for it anyway. But yeah, it'd just be a fun thing to do, and you guys, I don't feel bad doing it for you guys if it ever comes down to it. You're the Glomgol of and I mean that in the nicest way. Hope some people get that reference. God, I don't get the reference. But I'm gonna assume that you're meaning it in the really nice way. Oh yeah, Streamlabs caught the Dylan subscribed. Thanks, Dylan. We pretty much talk about Hero Academia or other anime here. Glomgold. Oh, okay. Who is this guy? Is it Disney? He will attempt any possible underhanded deed in order to defeat Scrooge, and occasionally hires 3 thugs, such as the Beagle Boys, and sometimes also Magica the Spell to do his dirty work. It is true, I will try many underhanded deeds to try and succeed in YouTube. It's true, I will try to do that. I will accept it. I like that. Yes, I will accept it. Thank you. How many minutes has it been? I got 9 minutes on my side, so I guess another 9 minutes till we get the next update. I will take Glomgold. Oh, wait, here it is. Endeavor is also here. He says he received a message from All Might, but took some time to get there because he's slow on rainy days. Hawks doesn't have enough feathers to fly while carrying Nagant, so Deku holds them with Black Whip. Okay, so nice. That looks like that's set up. Or that looks like that's the establishment page, so probably page 1, 2, and 3 maybe. Interesting. We're jumping right into it. We might see another assassin here pretty quick. If Stain shows up, that's gonna... No, if Stain shows up, Atsushi would have spoiled it already. Because Atsushi's kind of dramatic like that. Oh god, where's the live stream? There it is. Oh yeah, I saw Tekking. I saw that Tekking does like those really long One Piece videos. I don't think I have the confidence to do the videos like Tekking does, because it just feels like I'm really self-conscious about information that I'm giving in videos, because I don't like repeating myself, because I know I do it pretty often. I don't know if you guys have seen like some of my videos, but there's some videos where I'll just put the answer at the very beginning and then tell everyone like there's a longer answer, but here's the basics. And it's just because I don't like holding people there for too long. It's unfortunate. Sometimes I have to do it for the algorithm, but I definitely don't like it. But knowing that Ochaku got an hour, yeah, Ochaku deserves an hour. Why overhaul just start underground casino instead of just pushing drugs? I don't know. Trip, if you're starting to understand me, you've learned more in 5 streams than I know about myself in 18 years. Oh, nah, Viz, it's like your rhetoric, right? I understand a little bit of your rhetoric. Solo leveling, I return at max level and Tamer Master. Okay. And yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, pretty much. Ah, okay. Glomgold being a Scottish cockroach. Okay. Now I'm really feeling it. Alright, let me just see. Like it might come up on the screen real quick here. I think the desktop audio might come through. I'll try to stop it in time. Yes, I survived. That's exactly it. I survived for a lot. Yeah, no, I survived quite a lot on YouTube. That is true. Okay, that made me laugh. That was great. Really, that like 100 out of 10. That was pretty good. And yeah, so White Despair just wrote out what I had read. Endeavor is also here. Nagant so Deku holds them with Black White. I'm surprised the Church of My Hero has never contacted you for a chapter discussion. I feel you would fit right in. The Church of My Hero. There's a Church of My Hero? Have they heard about the Church of Central Hospital? I think we should kind of talk to them about that. Church of My Hero. Is it Aniki Smash FSP? Is that it? Oh, hello Yukio. Like, to be fair, I'm not very good at talking to other YouTubers, so if they ever did try to contact me, I would have just kind of missed it. I'm just looking at the Church of My Hero. I just want to see what channel it is. I'm still laughing about that Scottish cockroach. That was really good. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I'll survive YouTube. I will tell you guys, there is one thing that happened recently in that, like, a lot of my long running videos just got killed. Like, whatchamacallit? Katakoa. Katakoa really takes a lot of hits in my channel, and they're usually attacking the same video over and over, and I keep defending it over and over. But, like, Katakoa's new strategy, I swear, at this rate, if I ever become, like, a super big YouTuber enough that I have money, I'm gonna try and get into Katakoa's good graces and try to be the guy that does censorship for them, like, you know, take down their videos for them on YouTube. Because at this rate, I can't handle them always always attacking my videos when I keep defending them. And I just feel like at this point, I might as well just join them because at least then I'll be able to profit more, and then I can take care of the actual worthwhile YouTubers. But I've looked into it, like what I would have to do to become like a content protection company. And I do legitimately think I actually would have a really good business plan if only I could get into Katakoa. And that's why we're gonna go light novels. We're gonna make light novels. We're gonna get famous, and then I'm gonna sneak my way like a cockroach into Katakoa's office, and we're gonna figure it out. I have a Japanese person waiting. Gonna have her write up a letter for me, and we'll figure it out from there. Also, I was thinking, like, other things I've been thinking about on the channel as well, just to see if I could do it. I see that, like, really small anime websites are able to get interviews with all these different kind of people. Like, they're able to get interviews with executive producers from Katakoa and all that. And oh, here we go. We got another one here. Deku tells about the explosion and how it was probably caused by All for One. Hawks is screaming at Nagant saying that he's her replacement, and after fighting Deku, she should already know that there's still hope in Hero Society. Yeah, this is gonna be... I hope this isn't like Hawks becoming the next leader of the Public Safety Commission. Anyway, yeah, man. I always think about it. Like, if I was able to get into Katakoa's good graces and be a content moderation company, I could 100% protect the actual worthwhile YouTubers and take down everyone else. Well, that'd be funny. That'd be really funny. We'll see what if it ever happens. I'll let you guys know. Let's see. I wonder if we get to see if Lady Guy's alive, or do you think it'll be hold for next week? I'm not too sure, man. Not too sure. Time for Trip to get funding from the royal family to start spreading the gospel of Central Hospital. Yes, I think Sean Rass, a chapter was on once to chat about it. Oh, okay. Overhaul should have just started Underground Fight Club where you can kill your opponent, but Overhaul would just revive the defeated. I can see some heroes participating, especially Miracle. It's funny because he did go to an Underground Fight Club too, right? Deku tells, yes. Let's see. It looks like Deku telling Hawks the situation that happened. I know that there's still hope in Hero Society. They use Zoom. If you went to their stream and asked, they may let you on. Okay. Sounds like the next might be in reference to Hawks based on what he says to Nagant. It looks like Nagant's going to his chapter. I think he's replacing her role that she had. Trip, the hero we need. No, I'm gonna be the ultimate villain. Oh, I have my shit list, man. I take down a lot of people. But it would just make things easier. Because I bet I know how I bet I know how this whole thing works with Katakoa. most likely they're being duped by the company that does it. Like, the trick for the company that is doing content moderation on behalf of Katakoa is most likely they take down the videos, they record how many views they took down, and then they show it to Katakoa and be like, "Yo, Katakoa, we took down this many views in this past month." But they don't tell Katakoa how many of those views come back within the month because of the content debate system. Because this is usually how these type of companies work. Um, with these type of companies, they usually try to they misinterpret the data on the views, and they don't report the full story. And just with the way that they operate, I think that's probably what goes down. But yeah, I'm just spitballing here while we wait for spoilers. Let's see. Yeah, that's where he found Rappa. Let's see. Honestly, based on the current spoiler, I'm gonna put my money down on Nagant dying. Just feels like that might be the case since Hawks says he's the next Nagant. Would be weird to still have Nagant around. Yeah, it's honestly like in context, it's kind of weird, right? To like save this woman and scream at her, "I'm the next you. I'm your replacement." I wonder. That's just odd, right? Or did Hawks not know Nagant and he's trying to explain to her who he is? Actually, that's still kind of weird. You save someone from the air and you feel like you have to introduce yourself? That's kind of weird. Would I do that? Feels kind of socially awkward. I mean, also kind of arrogant. It might be Asushi though. But he then goes in with that little bit of hope in Hero Society. Okay, so it took him 6 minutes to post that, so probably the next one's coming in right now. People on Twitter had Red Explosion and thought Bakugo. They are starving for him. I don't understand how you can like read Izuku tells about the explosion and how it was probably caused by All For One. So it seems like Nagant might die in this chapter. My Hero Academia, I'm in heaven. Oh yeah, hey, I see hot. Yeah, we're talking about Hero Academia right now. We're looking at the spoilers. I'm not gonna think that Nagant's dead yet. I know. I'm being stupid, but I'm gonna keep it there, just because if she dies, it'll be respectable. If she doesn't, it'll be par for the course for Hero Academia. Like I'm honestly really expecting her to survive that horrible damage. But I really hope this doesn't focus on Hawks being the next whatever though. That'd be pretty lame. Okay, let's see. Congrats on your release from prison. I'm the man who took your job. Right? It's awkward. Oh, Icy Hot's asking, what's your favorite character? Honestly, I don't know Icy Hot. It might be Aizawa, unfortunately. Like, I don't think about him like that. I think overall it's dumb for Mob Boss. He should invest underground casino, gain lots of money, and less eyes on him. Yeah, if he had a casino, like, the guy would be rich. I mean, really. It's that kind of thing. People who prey on other people's vices, those are usually the people that make it out rich, right? Because people with vices don't have self-control. Maybe Asuchi gets the leak from a certain country page, and those are translated in shitty English. Silly trip. Central Hospital is there. I hope so. I'm hoping Overhaul shouts, and Izuku has a brain blast to use him since he doesn't know that Shigaraki took his arms. Yeah, I hope so. Although, I hope Izuku noticed when he pushed him out of the way the man's missing some arms. One thing that I noticed though about float. Guys, when Izuku uses float, do you think he cancels out the weight on the person? So like if a person is holding on to him, do you think they start floating as well? It's just because I noticed, like last week, the physics is kind of weird. Because if Izuku grabs Nagant and he stops going down, that means he's anchored himself into the air, which is kind of weird. Because like for example, if Izuku was affected by Ochako and then Izuku went and grabbed Nagant, Izuku would still fall with Nagant because you might you might be able to cancel out gravity on you, but gravity on the gaunt is still going, right? So I just kind of wonder, what do you guys think about the physics of float? How do you think it works? Do you think there's an anchoring, or do you think like float affects the person he's holding? I don't remember if we've seen any other examples of it, and I haven't examined it enough. But I just found that spot kind of weird. It's just like, it's just weird little things. Not a big deal. I think. Oh, let's see. Maybe I still got that. Didn't he carry 7 people into the Orochigaraki? Yeah, he did with Black Whip, right? Was he using float at that point? Oh yeah, I think he was, wasn't he? Because when I saw Black Whip, I thought Black Whip was doing all the lifting. Hmm. Maybe it is. Maybe it would be better to assume that he applies float to everyone that he touches. Okay, it's been 8 minutes. It occurred to me the other day that so many people. It occurred to me the other day that so many of Izuku's villains are physically impaired. Muscular has one eye. Overhaul lost both arms. Shigaraki lost some fingers. All for One lost his head. Gentle, better watch his back. Yeah, like Stain doesn't have a nose. I think it works like the Viltrumites from Invincible, where they create their own leverage. That's what I thought of too, Viz Trio. Like honestly, when I said anchor, like I was really thinking of what Omni-Man had talked about with the leverage. Also, I find the Viltrumites. Yeah, that was full. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, I find the Viltrumites' ear problems pretty interesting. It's like how they make the ears work. Oh, okay, gotcha. I see. Hot. I'll beat you up here. Cool. If it's that moment, I can very quickly look it up here on my computer too. Let's see. Black Whip. I think I would have saved that particular moment because that was such a good moment for Izuku. In context though, I did find it pretty funny how Izuku drops them in the immediate next chapter. Right? He didn't drop them in the immediate next chapter. I remember making fun of him for it. I'm pretty sure he did. Where is it? No, that's Ochako. Yeah, I gotta keep him up in the air. Man, that Black Whip moment was so cool. Like, I'm looking at it again, chapter 284. That was such a cool moment. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, Izuku 100% lifted them into the air only to put them back down. Oh, Izuku, you're so funny. Okay, so, let me see here. Make sure I have Atsushi's window brought up. Oh, 17 seconds. Okay. Hawks asks Nagant to tell them everything she knows about All for One. She doesn't know Hawks, but after hearing he's her replacement, she understands he's from public safety. So she starts wondering why he still has glowing eyes. God, it's going to be a Hawks episode. God. Yo, White Despair, this might be it, man. This might be the moment where Hawks tells the story of how public safety became slightly better after her episode. If he tells the story like, oh man, yeah, the guy just had cigarettes in his pocket, it's like, oh shit. Let's see. Favorite dub backable line from anime when talking to Kami. Delinquent act or so last year. The hell it is. Such a great show. By the way, did anyone see the new Pokemon short that went up? Yeah, Black Fox. We talked about it earlier, but I didn't see it yet. Jason said he dropped them. Wanted to reinforce that he didn't master it. Yeah, I understand that. It just, in context, it just looks pretty odd, right? Like, for me, I get it, but for me, I also see that as a moment where Horikoshi had Izuku go into the air with them to make it look cool, and then, because it's a cliffhanger, right? And then he just stopped the cliff. Like, once you go into the next chapter, cliffhanger gets reverted. I just saw it as like not All for One. I saw it as Shonen Jump's cliffhanger methodology. Like they do this a lot across other series. That's what makes it worse. Hawks asks, so she starts wondering why he starts glowing eyes. Yes, Mr. Ammo, we're talking about spoilers. Yeah, man. So okay, the next seems to be talking about Hawks. I'm not happy with this. I'm happy with this. You know why? Because like it'll just reinforce points that we have about My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is more about the pro heroes, who are legitimately cooler than they are about the kids. And you know now Izuku is part of the pro heroes, so that's why we're in this situation. Do 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 do. Let's see. He put them down, needed that dramatic cliffhanger, yep. Let's see. Love how Ori shut down the Dobby Hawks Hero Commission headcanon, then he immediately shut down the young Nagant Hawks Hero Commission replacement headcanon. Yeah, like Nagant's age is legitimately odd though, right? Like, it's I don't have a good read on how old Nagant is. Cause like even the time period that she came up in, like she came up during Crimson Riot's time period, and Yoroi when he was younger, I assume. It's just kind of interesting, right? To kind of try and figure out when exactly she showed up. Let's see. But honestly, when it comes to Dobby, like, I'm half still kind of expecting, like, Dobby to somehow be part of the Safety Commission for some weird reason. I hope it's not true, because I wanted to put that thing to rest, but you never really know. Let's see. Any chance of Izuku actually losing... Any chance of Izuku actually losing a limb by the end of the series? I see him losing an arm because it'll be a big Star Wars reference. I mean, I can do without Star Wars references, but, yeah, sure, if he wants to. I mean, he has Black Whip now. If he keeps Black Whip, it'll be fine. Yeah, we don't want to go back to Uraraka asking redundant questions and Monoma ranting about being a side character. Yes, I definitely don't want to go back to Monoma ranting about being a side character. I would love to see Monoma give inspirational speeches to villains, though. I'd be quite alright with that. I'd really appreciate that. I think that's a good move in general. I think a lot of villains need to hear it. But yeah, if Izuku loses an arm tie, thinking about it, Izuku will probably just get a robotic arm. Like, Hero Academia prosthetics are so advanced, it's not really a big deal. So, it took him like 11 minutes between the posts. So we're probably waiting 11 minutes again till he says the next thing. It'd be really cool if the Fajin energy in the anime is complementary color to Izuku's green, so his effects aren't just constantly green, but worry about what it will look like is a ways away. Yeah, it's gonna be a ways away. If it's Horikoshi, more likely since someone is always losing an arm. Okay, so you think because of it? Okay. Interesting. That interesting perspective. I definitely would not be able to argue against that. Oh, thank you, Icy Hot. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream here. The kids better become pro heroes soon or they will be forgotten. Anyone here has read the Slime novels? I have one question. I have, Mega. I've read the Slime novels up to volume 8, I believe. I've also read some of the web novel. Like, I know, like, some of the things. But yeah. Oh yeah, he wouldn't be able to use a super strength with the arm. Like, that's not a big deal, though. Like, what? Like, at Izuku's level, he'll be able to use super strength with his butt, right? So it's not really like he's losing out on anything. He could blink and he could probably bring down a building.
Time for me to join you?
I think she might be in her 40s. You know what? If she's in her 40s, she automatically goes up in my scale like a few points. If she's in her 40s, that's pretty impressive. Let's see. When do you think? What do you think of the current boat event in Genshin? Guy, I kind of hate it. I just find the boat so unintuitive. Not my favorite. Not my favorite thing in the world. Personally, but it's not the worst. I like driving around in the boat, but it could be better. I wish I could aim the projectiles a bit more. He wouldn't be able to use super. Let's see. Monema's rhetoric of having to live up to heroic standard while having sometimes and act to get jobs is actually more interesting. It is. It legitimately is more interesting because, like, Monema is aware of his position in life. That's what it is. It's just that Monema, in a weird way, is really just upset about his class. He wants his class to be recognized. But at the same time, like, at this point, Monema's been involved in scary situations as well. He should just kind of get over it. Like, that rhetoric is done. It reminds me of what Skelly says, really. Like, whenever Hero Academia has to go back to comedy, it kind of takes away from the character development. Like, for Bakugo and whatnot. Like, Skelly always brings up Bakugo, but, like, Bakugo really doesn't need to be blowing up at everyone. It just makes him look, like, more maladjusted than he actually is. Let's see. Because she's a living rifle, does she age like a rifle? A well-kept rifle could last hundreds of years. That's why she looks like she's a nerd. Well, Matt, I like the reasoning. So my question is, what order of events is better? The way the novels did it, or the way the manga did it on Slime? Because the order of fights and stuff being shown changes. Okay, the anime causes a bigger problem. I think the order that the novels did it is better. In general. Because the way the anime goes about it, it just makes something stupid. Because, like, I believe, like, one of the stupider parts in the anime for the recent season was that Rimuru was teleporting between his home and the school so often that it makes saying goodbye at any point just kind of worthless. Because it's like, the guy can just step out for 10 minutes and he can teleport over to his house. Like, it just didn't have the same kind of oomph when you have a very clumsy transition between the segments. I should do, like, comparison videos for it because it's not the best in the world. I'd say the light novel has the edge here because the anime moves things around and then tries to just, like, they have to keep. The thing is, like, the how do I explain it? Like, when there's a celebration to commemorate Rimuru's return, in the novel, it's because Rimuru legitimately hasn't been back in a while. Whereas in the anime, it's like, but he was just here, like, a little while ago. And then they have to, like, come up with rhetoric to, like, justify it. It's kind of messy. It's kind of clumsy. The order of events in the novel is better. But the web novel's order of events, I think I personally prefer. But the web novel now is so different from the light novel that not worth talking about it. Ty says, I'll enjoy this new My Hero Academia chapter if it involves Hawks telling Gauntlet that all her terrorist killings were justified and she snapped while on duty. Her boss was probably giving her a vacation brochure. I hope so too, man. Like, I get, like, White Despair and his theory about the cigarette box. I'm really rooting for it. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm really rooting for it because it just makes the Gaunt look so stupid, which is just more par for the course, right? Like, that's who she is. Think about it. Trips, compress, overhaul, I believe Aizawa. It's all a plot for Central Hospital. If Izuku lasts his arm, all he needs to get is Hashirama cells. That's what I was thinking too. Oh no, get Nomu cells. Nomu cells is the way to go, man. Oh, you meant the order when things happen during Walpurgis. Okay, the order of things happening in Walpurgis. I haven't read the recent manga chapters for Walpurgis because I keep reading the light novel. I currently like the light novel order of events for Walpurgis, but I haven't read the recent chapters. Lady Nagant as a cougar when she took Overhaul in Who Make an Interesting Dojin. She must have been really thirsty for an armless child abuser. Yeah. Why anime adaptation have to be one for how manga went? Okay, anime adaptations don't usually have to be one for one. The issues with anime adaptations not going one to one is specifically when they go out of order and they screw up the build up. Like that's the big problem when you have an anime adaptation going to manga adaptation and you're messing on order, is that they might have a build up and a payoff, but the ordering might get shifted. And if you shift the ordering, the payoff event might still be a thing, but then the build up towards the payoff event might not work. And then you can talk about, well, what's better in terms of implementation. And a lot of times, when the anime has to expand on things, they usually put in stupid dialogue that doesn't make sense in context. So that's like the big issue with why you don't really want to have anime expanded material, because anime expanded material is almost always stupid, unless it's been overseen by someone that actually knows what they're doing. But like that's like a really theoretical point for the vast majority of viewers. It honestly doesn't matter, because the vast majority of viewers, when it's problems of like what implementation is better, a viewer won't really have the opportunity to know. Like there's only been a few critical cases where you can come up with a story behind a series of changes, like in Shield Hero. Shield Hero had so many changes to Naofumi that flat out they changed it because they wanted Naofumi to be more profitable. There's no other explanation other than they want to make Naofumi more palpable for the casual audience, which is like, don't know why you would do that at that stage. Wait, I just realized you did not have a face. How is she talking at all? Well, get ready. Like, see, when I saw the shadows for her face, I wanted to think that that was actually legit damage. But honestly, it's Horikoshi, right? This guy will 100% just kind of tease you. And then just kind of undo the damage when the cliffhanger's over. That's why you don't trust Horikoshi in the long run. I don't trust him in the long run. I shouldn't be so cynical, but I don't.
Take care of it.
Oh, Mega's asking about the Monoma situation. If he copies All for One, he gets the ability to steal quirks. We're pretty sure about that. What do you think is going to happen with Overhaul? Oh, hey, Ray. It's been a while. I think he's going to get to see his dad. I think Izuku's going to talk to him. I think they're going to come up with some kind of bargain here. I'm surprised that he hasn't popped up already. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. We should be expecting the next installment any second now. Oh, just came up. Yo, man. Tiandre, seriously, you've been preparing bullets? Nice. Oh, okay, he made an image now. Alright, here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to read this. She screams. During the next 2 months, bring the target to a mansion in Hybori Forest. They reach the ground. Nagant warns them that All for One has many other strong individuals by his side. She says her heart wasn't strong enough and asks Ox how he's able to keep his head up after all he's been through. We see a flashback of Child Hawks holding the plushie. He says it's because he had someone supporting him, and he's just overall a pretty optimistic guy. Endeavor is holding Shizaki, who is still screaming about his boss, how he wants to apologize to him. Izuku asks him if he still remembers what he did to Eddie. Shizaki starts repeating her same and saying that if they use her, it's possible to bring the boss back. Uh-oh. That means that Overhaul doesn't have a quirk. Uh-oh. 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 Or it's either he doesn't have the quirk or he's insane and regressing.
When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight.
I like how Hawks ultimately just tells her, it's because I'm not depressed.
Moonlight.
But actually, you know... I have to be really careful with this one. I have an opinion here, but it's going to be... You guys remember in the... Like, Miguel, maybe because you saw the video. When I was complaining about Nagant and the way she views society, in the video, I specifically used the image of Nagant sitting in a high-rise, looking down on the city. And I questioned whether or not Nagant ever worried about, you know, the home she lived in. Because, like, to me, Nagant 100% sounds like those really well-off people who barely have to do anything in life, and they get to complain about their life while sitting in a high rise. And when you come down to Hawks, Hawks knew shit. Like, he knew hardcore stuff. He knew how bad things can get. And like, this is usually how it goes in real life. People that know shit typically tend to be more optimistic because they've seen how they can survive. Like, they tend to have like and I say tend because like depression and all those kind of things, you can still get beaten down by your system. But for someone who struggles and they taste that one, when they taste victory after struggling for years, they tend to realize how easy it is to taste victory again and again and again. Mind you, they might not be able to get like wild victories, but they'll get those very small victories. They'll appreciate things a little bit differently. When you have Hawks overall come in here and telling this girl like, yeah, I just see the world differently, like that's like the epitome of Nagant ultimately being like the worst kind of person, in the sense that she was someone that grew up in luxury, kind of being exposed to the first ugliness of the world, whereas Hawks grew up in the ugliness of the world. At this point, I will say, knowing that this is Hawks' response, being just like, yeah, I just look at things differently, 100% Nagant is a great character, because she is designed to be the most basic bitch you've ever seen. Like, props. Props. Props for being able to like capture this. Found some further info on the whole great hero versus great. The word he uses is thingamajig, which is like the highest or utmost or something. So the greatest is probably the closest. Nice.
Wanna come over for tea?
For the panel, I thought it looked like one of the early translations that have super dark shading and are somewhat low quality. It just looked off from the rest of the chapter. Yeah, to me it just looked like he didn't want to show her face. It's unfortunate we have to come back to the Endeavor plushie. He wants his arms back. He's probably insane. Or Eddie can rewind the boss. I meant it in the cave. Wouldn't the quirk take control of Monoma if he tried that? No, Mega, like, we were talking about it, but Monoma might have safeguards that prevent vestiges from coming through. Like, if you look at it, Monoma, he can only use one quirk at a time. He has a time limit. So given all, and he can't copy accumulation. So he probably can't copy a vestige, because a vestige might be an accumulation type thing. So yeah, no, like, Monoma probably has too many safeguards, is what we're currently thinking. And when do you think next chapter of Kumo Desu will hit? Which one is Kumo Desu? I can't think of it. So it appears we finally have clarification what remodeling was. I look for all people online who are going confused that because it had been confirmed that Overhaul could still use his quirk. Yeah, no, man, like, we'll have to see, because we still don't know here, but whenever I saw that remodeling thing, I always thought, like, that could just be a funny way of saying he can't use his quirk anymore, but he still, like, has it somehow. But this is going to be funny. Yeah, I agree. This is why you have to be really careful with wording. As we have talked about many times tonight, we have to be very careful with wording.
This isn't good.
Let's see. Wouldn't it be funny if the dark villain we've been waiting for was Monoma finding out All For One is his father and offering the ability to become a protagonist instead of a side character? That would be funny. I do think that'd be very funny. You know what would be super funny, Black Fox? If someone talks about how Monoma inherited the same darkness that All For One has in his mind. It'd be funny if it's Yoichi telling him that too. Because, you know, darkness can be inherited when you call it depression. You think any of the characters, while looking over a city like that, ever worry about falling off? Oh, I would 100% worry about falling off. Like, whenever I'm looking over the city, like, yeah, I would, like, heck, man, I worry about falling off my balcony sometimes. Or when I had a balcony, I worried about falling off of it. Yeah, no, like, nah. Like, I'm the kind of person that doesn't like looking over the edge of a cliff, man. Like, it's too dangerous. I've fallen off a cliff before. No way. What is going on? Where am I? Oh, there I am. Trip, that's blatant bias. This feels like All For One and Shigi are going to be their own separate fights. You only see the ones who are positive because those who are negative are either still in that state or have committed. That's true. That's true. That is very true. You would see the positive ones. That's very true. That's very true, Skelly. I will correct that. That is very true. Could easily see more new old villains leading. So I'm pretty much seeing survival of the fittest in action here. Yeah, that would be the way to go about it. That's pretty much survival of the fittest. It's like sociological survival of the fittest, not actually truly survival of the fittest. Well, if you say fittest is like being able to like persevere in your environment, specifically you're going like the self-deletion route. Yeah, okay, no, but still, Scully has a point. Nagant got upset because the world she lived in her promised her a peaceful life with rainbows and puppies. So when she said that the safety commit brainwash, she was actually protecting herself. Oh yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I put my people in the teapot as well. Personally, I've always felt that we already got in the whole "I am your father" moment. I figured it was all for one telling All Might. Tomoyo Shigaraki is Nana Shimura's grandson. No, Tai, you still have an opportunity for that theory here, because we just don't know. You can say that the guy has. You can say that the guy has. That he's just going through psychosis right now. Do you believe the theory that Toga and Monoma might be related? It was stated by Curie that Toga was the first daughter of the family, and it explains why they can both copy quirks and are psychos. No, I don't like people being related theories in general. Like, I'll say they're related as much as people on the island are related, but otherwise, like, personally, I'm not into that kind of theory crafting. Episode 101 details dropped in it's the Christmas episode. What happened to My Villain Academia? What? $242 is Christmas. So where's... So what's 236? Oh yeah, no, this is villain. Uh-oh. Are we is it really the Christmas episode? That's the issue with most society. I haven't seen how bad shit can get. YCD complains. Spider, so what anime? Oh, yeah, Spider. I do enjoy Spider quite a bit. Oh, Jason said, some info you might find is poor people, on average, handle depression, suicide thoughts better than rich people because they blame their problems. Wait.
Those memories, so dark.
I think I lost where I was here. Oh yeah, no. Poor people blame their problems on being poor, and for the rich, it's hard to handle since they have everything and should be happy. Yeah, thank you for bringing up those statistics. That sounds familiar to me, but I don't know if that's confirmation bias. But thank you regardless. Okay, still nothing yet on the spoilers. Oh, Tiamja's out. Mind you, public safety is also at fault for not wanting to show people how bad stuff can get, but no government has ever wanted to show their people the ugly face of society to people. Yeah, no, but people do need to understand how bad society is in general. Like, heck, man, I would be very grateful if a lot of people experience how bad society can be for the vast majority of people. But yeah, that's a personal opinion. Like I said in the videos, though, the current situation with the Hero Academia Society, 100%, is because they don't fully appreciate how fragile their peace was, and the Public Safety Commission could have done better. Oh, Kumo Desu is a spider anime. Oh, got you. Okay. Ah, okay. Thanks. I don't know the Japanese names. Yeah, I don't know then. I don't know. I don't really follow the manga for that one. I find that I personally can't read the manga. I just don't enjoy it all that much. I always figured remodel rendered unusable due to loss of hands, especially with the whole quirk remodel, but due to his danger ideology was placed in Tartarus. The but is crucial. Yeah, for me, like, that's what I thought the remodel was as well. Because it's just like, I hear remodeled, but I'm just thinking like, yeah, Shigaraki ripped off his hands. Like, that's a pretty big remodeling. But we'll still have to see. We never know. Like, all it takes is one well-placed quirk evolution, and there you go. I always figure, let's see. Showing the outside society can be demoralizing, so I can understand why they keep it hidden. Yeah, it can be demoralizing, but I think that's the catch-22 there, Ray. You need to be able to face your society. The problem, like, look, honestly, if people were well-regulated internally, it would be fine. But people in general, they can't understand nuance as much as they can understand discrepancies, like why discrepancies. Because of that, you know, they won't really understand something unless, like, if you want to like make sure, look, what that says is that they're more likely to not appreciate nuance when they really should. And like, I mean, here at Academia's case, the nuance would be like, appreciate that these people have to do things that you might not understand are going on in the background. Because of that, I think that's what makes it more important to teach people, like, hey, this is how your society looks. Like, not make it like lackadaisical. Just be in a constant state of awareness. Hey, look, make an effort. This is what happens in society. This is the stuff that we've been doing. Appreciate that this is going on. Just because people's tendency to go towards natural extremes, I think it's important that some kind of balance was maintained there. Even if it's as simple as reporting to people like, hey, you know, a month ago we had this operation, making it available for people who actually are willing to take the step to listen. Because if you had that, society would look a little bit different in this case, because at least a portion of society, roughly like 20% of them, would most likely, and that's a random number I'm pulling out of nowhere, I feel like a small portion of them would be more lenient with the heroes for actually good reasons.
Those memories. So dark.
Do you remember the opening season? Wait, oh god. Do you remember the opening scene of season 2? Do you think we're getting that again? No. No, I think that's just something random that was in the scene. Thoughts on Nagant saying All For One has strong individuals by his side? I'm predicting everyone online is going to be getting super hyped over that single line. It'll probably just be the near high-end Nomu. Important to remember that due to how long Nagant has been Tartarus, she likely doesn't even know what a Nomu is, so her calling it an individual is to be crazy. Yeah, no, strong individuals by his side. Hawks knows who's in Tartarus, and Hawks told Izuku, Nagant's the biggest danger you've got. So, yeah, no, like, strong individuals by his side. If it's a mansion in the woods, Dobby. Moonfish, maybe. Mostly Dobby. High ends. Mostly Dobby. Like, I really think you're looking... Oh, wait, no, some of the Liberation people. Some of the Liberation Front. Redestro, maybe? Although Redestro's gonna get annoyed. I would not have Redestro around if I was All For One. Yeah, probably Liberation Army people. Like, it's honestly not that many people that are actually worthwhile in that group. Let's see. Also, let's all hope Jujukai author recovers and gets the rest he needs. Yeah, let's hope. And then, okay, Joe. You saw the video on the Monoma quirk and was wondering why you mean if the author being reasonable, he can make the quirk dissipate from the hair. Ooh. I don't recall that one, Joe, but I'll give you like two. I remember some of the reasonableness, but I don't remember if I said dissipate from the hair. But, okay. If I was saying being reasonable, I believe I meant to say that if he's being reasonable, he would make the like if Monoma passes the one for all quirk onto someone else, the effects dissipate after 10 minutes, because Monoma said in one of the chapters. Oh, new spoiler. Give me a second, guys. Monoma said in one of the chapters. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry. Monoma said in one of the chapters that the quirks, as long as they're not on a biological or on, like affecting a person, don't tend to dissipate. Which means if they are affecting a person, they will dissipate. So the big thing is just if Monoma copied one for all, he gives it to another person. That other person should lose one for all after 10 minutes if he wants to be reasonable. I believe that's what I was trying to say. Okay, guys, so I haven't read all your comments yet, but the next thing is they enter the mansion. Izuku is so we've just jumped to the mansion. God, Izuku is remembering Hawks' words about how All for One can't still have One for All just yet. The main hall is empty, but All for One appears in a hologram clapping. He asks Izuku if the moral dilemma Nagant presented to him was fun. What moral dilemma? She was shooting him. What moral dilemma is there? Society having negative aspects? This girl murdering her employee? I didn't see a moral dilemma here. It was pretty easy. Izuku just says, like, yeah, society sucks. I get it. There's shades of gray. Can't let you shoot me, though. What moral dilemma is there? Someone explain to me the moral dilemma. Because I know you guys can explain it better. I love that All for One has a hologram. I wonder where he's getting the electricity from. I'm really curious how much time passed here. If there's a time skip, if this is a time skip, Nagant's not dead. Ty, I feel like there should be stronger villains. I mean, the high ends, I think, are stronger villains naturally. Like, a high end would not go down like a chump the way Nagant did, but a high end wouldn't be as tactical as Nagant, most likely. Jason said, to be fair, there is technically little information on suicide since the information usually dies with the individual. Oh, that's a really sad way of putting it. We can't always know the factors contributing like medication, depression. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good night, Black Fox. Looks like yeah, if it is the Christmas episode, looks like the anime is going to get weird. You know what it is? The anime probably feels really weird putting Christmas as a finale. They probably are moving things around so that My Villain Academia happens as the finale. Oh, I don't know. Like, it looks like they're getting creative. I never like it when the anime gets creative. I don't think the Christmas episode is going to start with the opening, is it? Let's see. That would be absolutely hilarious considering how Curious explosions were extremely weak, so she went for many explosions to make up for it. Oh, wait. I missed someone. Speaking of Curious, what if the quirk All for One used to blow up Nagant up was Curious quirk that he got through the blood they got? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, that'd be cool. I just thought of something. If someone ends up dating Mushroom Girl, getting on her bad side would be troublesome since she could grow a mushroom on your throat with ease. Yes. Pretty much what the government did with the Area 51 report. All for One would have to touch Nagant to get an explosion as big as the one we got. Pat, 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 Nagant. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. I mean, it makes it silly again, right? In context. It's kind of disappointing that Tartarus was hyped up to have extremely dangerous villains, and it's only Nagant that was considered as a real threat. Yeah, no, Poison. We talked about this when it first happened. Like it's a narrative technique. Like on one, oh, new thing. Deku's really pissed. All for One continues to talk, saying that he loves to predict things and that he knew Izuku would reach for her hand. He also says he didn't force her to do anything. It was all her own will. Well, obviously he didn't. Yeah, okay. Like, look, right? This is All for One, right? He shows up in front of you. Around him is a sea of fire, and around him are like 20 people who are all convicts that you know have murdered and most likely violated many people. He comes up to you and he's like, hey, I want you to work for me. You complain. You look around at every muscular person. You're like, whoa, I don't you know, it's not fair that I have to do this. And he's like, yeah, but you know, this guy's standing in your way. And then, you know, she's looking at it, but also there's a sea of villains all around her. Like, he could say, I didn't force her, but he definitely, like, he twisted the hand a little bit, right? He didn't force her to do anything, but this is because All For One's a manipulator. This is why you don't take All For One seriously, because he's a dick. I mean, he looks like a dick, too. This is why you don't take him seriously. Like, yeah. I mean, I like it. I personally like the villain that says, yeah, I technically didn't force them, but this is the level of tomfoolery that Psycho-Pass did in its most recent season. It's kind of disappointing. Okay, let's see. What's even happening at this point? They enter the mansion. Deku is remembering Hawks' words about how All For One can't steal. Yeah, I got that. Is it kind of me, or is Hori rushing to the end of the series? Ray, I have entire thesis about this phenomena. Yes, he's gonna rush to the end of the series. It's happening. Get ready. It legitimately is gonna happen. Redestro got captured. I'm thinking it's just gonna be Nomu in the league, especially as All For One specifically asked the league to guard him while Shigaraki's body rests. Well, it's also gonna be the missing Liberation Army people. I'm guessing the ending for the chapter is the mansion. They entered the mansion. Deku's remembering Hawks' words. Yeah, I got that. Dad revealed Nagant presented to him was fun. Feels like My Hero Academia series will end in 2023. Come peacefully or I'll blast your limbs off. All For One, quite the moral dilemma. I see, that makes sense. I guess I was just wishful thinking for another person to maybe pass down one for all if Izuku died, but I'm one of the few who don't rule out that he dies. Oh, okay, I see, Joe. I mean, he might pass it on through some mechanism, but I don't think it would happen. It feels like Christmas. When was the last time we had spoilers on Wednesday? I know, right? Me listen to, like, I'm listening to music. Yeah. Got you going, Rogue. Stop a lady trying to shoot you. I wonder, should you stop them? What a tough question. I know, right? Like, Izuku wasn't even shaken. He was moving so fast and spewing his rhetoric the entire time. Oh, finally, we got a holy shit. Please. What's the holy shit? Oh, this is going to be a good reveal. Oh, I hope it's not. Oh, please don't be Dad. Please don't be Dad. Please don't be Dad. I don't want that to be Dad. Okay, guys, there's a holy shit here. Let's see. Stop really trying to shoot. Okay, let's see. Deku's really pissed. All For One continues to talk. He's saying he loved to predict things. Yo, he has a hologram. Imagine how much... Okay, no, actually, imagine how long... If this is a technology-based hologram, imagine how long it took All For One to set up a hologram in an old decrepit mansion. It might not be a decrepit mansion, but imagine this guy. He's probably there, tinkering with the gears, like installing it, getting the projector just right, and then he's like taking shots, taking selfies to make sure the projector's working. And he's like, oh, hey, man, what's up? I love predicting you. In the meantime, you're like, he must have troubleshoot at some point because holograms are tough. He must have been setting it up at an earlier date or something like that. Oh, man. It's just kind of weird. What a funny guy. All For One feels like the worst villain in the series, close to Dobby level on how he speaks and the action he does. Dobby's still intentional. Like, Dobby's failures are there to be seen. All For One is like the author's like, hey guys, check out this really hardcore villain. It's like, yo man, the things that this guy is doing are very silly in context. If it wasn't for the framing of a manga, White Despair is very right in everything he makes fun of All For One for. Cause like, All For One legitimately is the kind of guy that would probably check his makeup to make sure he has the right darkness, like kind of shadowing him out when he comes out to make his villainous monologues. That's who All For One is. I mean, I like that kind of villain. Like, I personally like writing that kind of villain as well, because I think it's funny. But oh god. Given these spoiler strips, what are your thoughts on my theory that All For One serves as the main villain of this arc? Personally, I think it's looking more and more likely with each passing chapter. I agree with you, actually. It looks bigger. If All For One had Toga's quirk, could he turn into someone and steal that person's quirk from himself? It's impossible, but that's so unnecessarily complicated. It's funny. It is. Tartarus has strong people, but Deku is top tier right now. Izuku's the strongest good guy in Japan. Endeavor might not be able to beat Izuku since he could always just get 100% for an easy win. Yeah. Next chapter, Izuku punches All For One and kills him. The end. I mean, hologram though, right? I mean, props to him for making a hologram. I didn't. She sure is surrounded by an army, but he didn't make her. Total bullshit. Yeah. Sushi just posted, holy shit, yes. Maybe Hody just wants to get rid of the original All for One since the vestige is still around. Oh no, I think All for One dies. My theory is still All for One after dying, the vestige is strengthened fully, and then the vestige really wreaks havoc. Cause like when All for One dies, the vestige is probably gonna get the last little bit of information, and the same is gonna happen with All Might. Probably just force Skeptic to do it. Oh, Skeptic, you're right. It is. It is. It is Skeptic. Oh, he probably yelled at him and called him a geek or something, and told him to be Geek Squad and fix up his hologram projector. Oh, he would. It's got to be a quirk-based hologram or something. That's my bet. Yeah, a quirk-based hologram would also be pretty simple. Would make it easier. But Skeptic. Holy shit, is that for one true? Oh man, please no. All for One gets silly and silly with each pass. Not surprising. Same energy as Dio carrying Polnareff down the stairs. Then we find all his earlier takes and bloopers, his failed recordings. Yo, actually, if All for One has failed recordings and bloopers, I would love to see them, because that would humanize him so much. Because I already think All for One's a loser. Like, if you don't have the time to finish reading a comic, you're probably a loser. I can't wait to see the day that we go into the All for One flashback and we see him in the office getting yelled at by like the super hardcore office lady who was his boss or something like that. I just feel it would be hilarious. I would love to see All for One striking out when he's trying to ask out this girl at the local bar. Oh man, that would be hilarious. Yo, you know what'd be funny? If All for One went evil because he got rejected. Oh, and she liked his brother. Oh, that would be funny. Oh, that would be so funny. This whole thing starts because of a girl. Oh, this needs to happen. But yeah, no, I think if Horikoshi ever showed All for One being pathetic, or like, show that All for One has funny flaws, I would respect them 100%. Like, that would be god tier writing. Same god tier writing for Dobby and Nagat. When I watch anime, I have to take my brain because some character don't make sense. I'm watching Frieza finally. I like the girl, but the boy getting my Yo, going rogue. You're watching the worst example of a main character. Good luck, man. Like, this guy is terrible, man. Like, seriously, good luck. I am not jealous of you at all. All for One spends hour in the mirror trying to get his makeup right. All for One, wait, I don't have eyes. It looks like another All for One All Might person, just like how All Might sent a hologram to Izuku after the UA entrance exam. Anticipation is killing me. I know, it's okay. It was 8 minutes ago that he sent the Deku's really pissed line. So it's coming any second now. We're at 6 minutes since the last message. Hodi's gonna so fast that next chapter is Izuku just gonna use Fajin plus 100% to disintegrate his arms but punch through reality to hit All for One through his hologram. It would be pretty great if we like a childhood of All for One flashback, just seeing how his quirk manifested young and how he used it throughout. Facts on Frieza and Dents doesn't even begin to describe the MC. All for One is probably asexual. To be honest, if you think about it, the manga has very little relationships in it. All Might is also asexual. Yeah, that's fair, Jason. Like, it's fair what you say, but come on, Jason, come on. You know you'd laugh about it too, man. You'd 100% laugh about it too. I think we would all can appreciate it. It's weird, but All for One brother said he used to be different as a kid, right? I think so. Like in oh god, no date, guys. Am I still live? Oh good, I'm still on. Like in one of the videos, he tried to do his evil laugh and choked on his spit. Okay, so he didn't say that. I haven't looked back at those pages, so I'll have to go back and see. But if he did say that, I think that would be all right. Because look, at the end of the day, power corrupts, right? And All for One is one of those people that 100% would have power corrupt him. I wouldn't be surprised if he was different as a little kid, for instance. Okay, guys, I still want to make fun of All for One here, but I won't get the opportunity. I want to say something about All for One, though. Oh, that is interesting, random. Damn it. Oh, yeah. This did happen really quickly. So, guys, the fact that we just jumped here, if we have a time skip, like if it's the next day, get ready. Because it means that Horikoshi is once again locking development behind a flashback because, I don't know, maybe he wants to keep the action high. But I hate this. I don't care about progression. We have long time. We have weeks. You're not Oda. You're not gonna go to like his length. Just show us the story in one coherent stream. Stop doing this where you lock things into flashbacks. If we do get a flashback here, Nagant is almost certainly alive. I wonder if he's getting complaints from the viewer base. I don't think he would, because like, there's too many fans of Hawks. Holy shit, was sending Nagant a complex plan to lure them to this mansion? Probably. Well, I mean, like, first off, I mentioned this in one of the videos, but... Oh, 41 seconds. Wait. All for One is trying to get on Izuku's nerves. He's talking about how the good guys are the ones who consider anyone who commits a single error a villain. He says that those who don't fit in will always be ostracized. It's not just a rule of society, but a rule of life. Yes! Yes, All for One is a beta. Yes, when he's talking about people being ostracized, he's talking about himself. Yes! All for One did get screwed over at the office. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, but we are stuck on 9 minutes. This is gonna be another 11 minutes now. This is pretty dumb rhetoric. Like, All for One, don't come in here with your rhetoric like this. Anyone, the good guys are the ones who consider anyone who commits a single error a villain. No. All of Vigilantes as a series, imagine that. All of My Hero Academia Vigilantes stands opposite to that thing. Heck, even Gentle's arc stands opposite to that rhetoric. Oh god, what basic rhetoric. God, where's Dobby when you need him? At least Dobby had something going on there. Anyway, Jason, the complex trap. No, like, having the place that you were going to meet Nagant booby-trapped is the good move. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm on record saying this. Miguel said it too. Like, we've talked about this. Like, many times before, that he shouldn't just straight up be at the place that he's meeting. And honestly, like, what makes a character intelligent is contingencies. If All for One is smart, he should have many, many, many contingencies. Because if the plan was to just get Izuku to the mansion, like, you would have just spread out the smaller villains and have Izuku find one of the smaller villains. You don't go through all the trouble of Nagant. Because Izuku's already looking for them. You just kind of spread them out would be the way to go. Because even then, you'd still get the same effect. I mean, like, I'm sure Horikoshi could, like, configure the narrative to make it seem like Nagant was the only way. But I feel like All for One is the kind of person that will lose and say, like, oh no, you only thought I was losing. I was actually planning to do this the whole time. That's just who All for One is at this point. My biggest question is if they just straight up headed to the mansion or if we had a time skip. Either way, it feels weird. I wouldn't be surprised if this is where All Might dies. Like, Izuku makes a big... Like, actually, probably... You know, probably why they did the time skip is probably because the heroes had a... If they do a time skip, it's probably meaning that the heroes had a plan. And they don't show us what the plan is because they want us to be surprised when the heroes pull off a cool trick. Which is, in other words, the single worst kind of... plot suspense. It works for some stories, but it's annoying here. I really want to see this hologram. Is All for One still in his prison uniform? Did he change into a suit? Does he still have his life support system appearing in the recording? Me too. I want to see this as well. I think that'd be hilarious. I'm going to go to Manga Helper, see if there's any images popping up on that side. What a basic guy. Oh my god. I'm actually really surprised at how basic he is. If All for One is Izuku's father, I don't feel All for One will reveal Shigaraki at the final fight. It'll be funny if he say it when Deku get angry. Yeah, that'll be funny. I don't think that's the holy shit part either. I think the holy shit part comes at the end of the chapter like a cliffhanger, because it always does. Imagine if Horikoshi goes full Ryan John and says Izuku's father was nobody. Well, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Hisashi just to be a regular businessman working overseas. So where do you think the other PLF members are being imprisoned? Especially Gantamaki. How the hell are they gonna imprison that thing? At this point, the sedative already worn off. They're probably keeping him sedated. Like they probably have like a lot of tubes hooked up to him. They're probably keeping him under control the entire time, I would say. Like, I'm expecting that. How dare you stop murderers from murdering Yumini? Oh, he says that Izuku chose the hardest part of all, and that he's bound to keep fighting until his heart becomes null. So? I mean, I feel like All For One chose a pretty hard path, considering that he was reduced to nothing and now has a penis for a head. How dare you stop oh no, I'm turning into Gohan. Okay, let's see. Trip giving Dabi face. You good there, Trip? No, man. I'm getting upset. He refuses the alpha beta dichotomy. He created a hero society so that society would be reshaped for his loner identity. Okay. All For One got passed up for promotion by his best friend at work, and he hated him for him, so he killed him. All For One is really a Sigma Omega Beta male guy. Oh no, what are you doing? He was so cool before, but now he thinks he can win, so he's letting his insecurities out. You know, he could have just texted Izuku the address and saved all this time. Yeah, after trying to draw stuff out as usual. He didn't post a holy shit moment. Yeah. Honestly, given how much All For One is bragging this chapter, I'm going to assume All For One actually gets his ideology destroyed here. No VA announced for Redestro, so I have no idea what the hell the anime is doing right now. Oh, man. Probably going to take probably next week or something they'll announce it. They're not going to skip My Villain Academia. Unless they're like, yo, My Villain Academia is way too dark. In which case, you know what would be funny? If after this season, they do a 12-episode Villain Academia season by itself standalone. And it's a different studio doing it. Oh god, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, 100%. No, man, like, this is 100% All For One. This is why when All For One tells his brother, remember, when All For One was excited to his brother, one of the things he told him was like, yo, guy, people actually listen to me now, right? Like, he was really excited about that. He 100% is not used to this. Oh, this guy, what a loser. I hope he hasn't bedded multiple females, because, like, it's like, how did he even manage? And yes, oh, next post, I will explain why I said this. Oh, shut up. Anyway, I said multiple females because I was just like, I'm channeling All For One right now. Let's see, they got Momo to make more to keep himself. Let's see, yo, Trip, I'm back. I left before story just in case, but I have a question. Can someone eat a swim fruit and swim in the water? Probably not, Omar. Probably not. Like, even if you're a fish man, you'll sink in the water. So probably not. I'm gonna be done with anime if I don't have My Villain Academia on principle. I'm really starting to think about it. No, 100%, man. It's a dumb move if they actually get rid of it. Okay, next post will explain this. If I better be that he's his father. Like, what else could it be at this point? Like, Spinner got turned into a Nomu? The anime seems to be going to the Christmas section instead of jumping back in time and jumping back forward like the manga. Well, I'm gonna head out. Oh, okay. I can't wait to see you rip into full dive when you hear Riona's reasoning for all this. Bro, it's happening. Probably to avoid confusion with time jumping for the anime. What was the time period that My Villain Academia happens in? Like, what's it? Alex is pointing out the time jumping. Like, if they're fixing timeline stuff, sure. But what's the timeline for Villain Academia? I think it'd be funny if All For One become quirkless and unable to get quirks anymore. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Who do you think the traitor is in your opinion? My best pick is Mei. My crack picks are Nejire or Shoji or Izuku or Nejire. Like, not or Blood King. Those are my crack picks. He is doing all this thinking Izuku is a hero, won't kill him, then Izuku flicks him in the head and he's dead. Again, though, hologram, right? Hologram. This is so rushed, though. I'm upset. I'm upset. Way to go, Horikoshi. You take away what we're actually wondering about, and you give us all for one.
Let the show be. I must leave no
Can someone
stone
train with Sea
unturned.
Prism Stone to get immune to the sea? I don't think so, Omar. That's never been a thing that anyone's been able to do. They might be a little bit resistant to the effects, but it's never been shown to be something that can happen. He's doing all this thinking Izuku's hero. Let's see. Oh yeah, Trip. Full dive worth watching. I was looking at it. No, no, it's not worth watching, man. Joe, it's not worth watching, not at all. Like, it's really, really, really bad, man. I can't, like, first off, it's a low tier anime, but recently it's been like even worse. I've got a few videos. Like, I just gave up on trying to do the episode reviews for the early part of the series, but like, look, the main character doesn't become likable till episode 6. Like, guy, maybe watch the first 3 episodes, but do not go in there expecting like, don't go in there expecting something great.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. My Villain Academia already happened. It happened, yeah, because like the time that Dobby was out working with that hood was the time period that roughly would have over. Yeah, no, you're right. It's already happened. Okay, so time jumping doesn't matter in this case. Okay, we'll just have to see what they do, right? We'll know in 2 weeks for sure. Oh, oops. So I remember your guys' comments. All from backstory being a Hikikomori after the girl he liked rejected him and dated his little brother decided to not go to school and live with his parents until 35. What if All for One isn't quite there and it's just a booby trap mansion? Oh no, 100%. Like, if it was me, I would have a booby trap mansion. I would explode that entire Oh wait, right, Izuku. I want to keep his body alive. Thank you for the reminder, man. He has Subaruitis, as they call it. No, he was stupid and it's in the mansion in the back room and it's a live feed. Oh man, if it's a live feed, that's hilarious. David Ian Bach has the League of Villains and the Endeavor Internship and Hawkstow. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's just a... Okay, so if that's the case, then probably what they're doing is like they have Christmas be the last bit for Izuku, make it a season finale, and then Villain Academia starts in 13 or something. I guess that's the way to do it. Yeah, okay, it's just probably like some rejiggering of the timeline. Guys, let me know if a thing comes up, because I'll be doing this. I'm excited though. I can't wait to see what insanity is going to come out. Please tell me that's his father, because that's the only thing that justifies the holy shit, unless there's something cool happening. So Horikoshi does not think Lady Nagant is worth time to tell and think All for One is better than telling what happened to her. Oh yeah, but this is pretty par for the course, right? Like, he keeps doing this. He keeps hiding things behind flashbacks.
Someone needs assistance.
Because, like, look, let's face it, hiding things in flashbacks will be a little bit more surprising. Like, he's pretty much just generating... He's just generating interest by making us wonder, oh my god, what happened to Nagant? It's just, it's a cheap thrill, pretty much. Oh, sorry, are we at episode 12 already? Oh, my mistake. Sorry for getting numbers wrong. Sorry. So, I guess, yeah, we'll have to see. Thank you for the correction. You're forgetting one point. You are more competent in All for One. Saying that you'd booby trap the mansion doesn't exactly bode well for All for One. Damn it. White Despair, you're also much more competent in All for One. Who's your favorite pleasure? Oh, favorite guilty pleasure generic isekai. I was about to say High School DxD, but that's not an isekai. Guilty pleasure generic isekai. Guilty pleasure generic isekai. Maybe Mao-sama Retry? Mao-sama Retry is not super generic. It's more like Overlord. I don't know. I'll go through my isekais. Oh, wait. Death March. Death March would probably be it. Did you check at least what novel in Shield Hero you stopped reading? Yeah, man, it is where I told you. It's where like it's where Raftalia and now Fumi reunite. Let me just load up the window. Oh, wait, shit. Let's just say 12, man. Let's just say I was at 12, Mega Green Kirby. I'm pretty sure it was 12. What is it? Oh, good, he explodes it. Alpha One says that while he stopped caring about All Might and started thinking about Izuku. You're next, he says, as the whole mansion explodes. Oh, I don't care then. Like, way to go. Yeah, slime isn't 100% generic. Yeah, All for One explodes the mansion. Well, good for him, but at least it's not his father. Ah, that's not a big deal though. Exploding the mansion? Yeah, I can't. This is a pretty lame chapter. I hope there's more. Yeah. This in general is just not gonna. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't care. That's essentially like I appreciate that he actually tries to explode it. Like definitely I appreciate it because that's a smart thing to do. Like just to kill Izuku. But the thing is like All for One doesn't want to kill Izuku, so he's probably planning on Izuku's body to be intact enough to still be able to. Yeah, he's probably thinking Izuku's body's still going to be intact enough to be able to harvest the quirk. I'm glad he exploded it. But actually seeing how easy it goes down. Yeah, like, okay, the ease with which it happens, actually, it's like the thing that takes me out of it. I think that's where I'm at now. I think what I don't like is that the chapter ended there. Like this isn't a lot. Do you guys kind of get it? Do you guys kind of get like it's a little bit under? I think that my issue is that the chapter ends there because we talked about this earlier with cliffhangers, but cliffhangers exist only to hype things up and then get reversed next chapter. Mind you, like I think Izuku's gonna take a hit, but like Izuku's also the same person that's taken hits from Bakugo before. And also, let's face it, the pro heroes would not let Izuku go in there by himself, so there's probably all kinds of tricks. Oh, Maggie's grandson. Oh yeah, I do like Maggie's grandson. Let's see. So All for One has a thing for Izuku. You know, it's funny because like All for One is the same guy that spent forever saying that he didn't care about Izuku, how Izuku wouldn't be enough. Like his vestige still says that Izuku's pretty useless. So it's kind of funny that this is how the rhetoric's changed. I agree, Riz. Like, this is another thing. Like, if this is the time for the second quirk, it could be here as well. Like a protection quirk. Heck, it'd be really funny if Izuku wrapped himself in Black Whip, and we're about to see some kind of weird thing with Black Whip. So All for One's going for dramatic effect of false hype, considering that he needs Izuku alive to steal all for one for all. Him blowing up the mansion just looks really silly. It does. I wish it wasn't the end of the chapter. The end of the chapter is really what throws it off. Because like that's almost the promise that the chances are we're getting. Like if next chapter is Izuku actually being injured and kidnapped, I'm going to have many questions about the operation intelligence here, but I mean, like, the guy's willing to shoot Izuku with Nagant, so blowing him up, it's just explosions don't matter in Hero Academia. Even with Nagant, Nagant was still talking. Yeah, I have complex feelings. When you get exactly what you want, but it's all, this is the moment trips. Oh. For Deku, ready a second. What if the explosion killed Deku? How would he get one for all? Well, Izuku's not going to die. If Izuku is alone, then no problem. He just tanked the explosion. A few burns, maybe that's it. To be fair, him wanting to steal one for all this time doesn't make sense. He tried to kill the past users. Quite a few of them were literally found dying before passing one for all on. The plotline never made much sense to me. White Despair comes in with a snipe. Are you implying that all for one doesn't make sense? What blasphemy. Oh, never mind. I can't even say that with a straight face. This feels like a waste of the chapter. Yeah, I hope Atsushi just didn't explain this well. Because, like, not even the rhetoric is interesting to talk about. Because, like, Nagant's rhetoric takes a little bit of time to actually... Like, with Nagant's rhetoric, you have to slow down. And you have to be like, okay, there's legitimately some wrong here. You know, the conclusion's wrong. There's some areas that we don't know enough to be able to judge. But with All for One, it's like, All for One says something, nope, out. Says another thing, out. Says another thing, out. Like, All for One isn't that clever. But Atsushi might not be the best at... Oh, a chunk of the chapter is spent on Nagant, though. I don't like the fast pace of the chapter. It's not normal. Felt like he was trying to write something, was told to write something like this. I don't know. We know Deku isn't going to be die, so who cares? I'd say Horikoshi writing on All for One is very questionable. After all the Deku slander, the vestige spouted, it looks pretty funny to see All for One claim to be obsessed with Izuku. Exactly! It's just so all over the place. Don't forget, that they said they entered the mansion, so it's not just Izuku in the mansion. Oh, okay. They enter the mansion. Okay. So they enter the mansion. Deku's remembering Hawks' words about how All for One can't steal one for all just yet. The main hall is empty, but All for One appears in a hologram clapping. Okay. Then, let's see if we post something else. And back to the hospital. Let's see, Chunk Boys. I know All for One, he's a great guy. He's always has the right plan. Every time he's got the best plan, big plan, believe me. So All Might took a grenade, then the gun exploded. Now a chapter later, my engine explodes. Why so many explosions all of a sudden? Because there's not enough Bakugo. At least Central Hospital can flex his muscle again and save all these potential victims. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. I kind of want to see the way it explodes as well. Because if anyone remembers, like, remember how in One Piece there was a moment when it looked like the Sunny Go had exploded with Big Mom, and how they had how in the next chapter it was revealed that they did a last minute switch that you couldn't see because Oda messed up the timeline on the explosion itself. So when you consider, like, honestly, this guy's following a little bit of the Oda style. If you consider One Piece, it could be a similar thing. Depending on the way that explosion looks, it might be a thing where the explosion went off, but like 2 minutes before Izuku ran away or something like that. Thing is, Izuku has danger sense. I feel like danger sense would be able to sense, like, there's multiple explosives in this building. Yeah. Could this be where All Might dies? At least if he's there for some reason. Maybe. Like, if All Might tried to save Izuku somehow, like maybe he covered Izuku with his body, that could be the way he dies. But it wouldn't be dramatic, you know? Unless All for One comes out and picks All Might up and cracks him right there. Like, breaks his neck, breaks his spine. That'd be pretty good. Flashback to how Izuku saved everyone in the explosion. So what do we think happened with Overhaul in this chapter? Well, he screamed and Endeavor held him. I'm not really sure what else could happen. Oh, if only, Joe, if only. Maybe that's the twist. Izuku in the audience thinks he can't steal One for All, but maybe he's figured out a way to work around that so he can care less about Izuku's condition. That's kind of an irony, right? Actually, no, Vistrio, you're like, it's very correct to think that way because the one spoiler, okay, where Sushi said, so like there's potentially some framing here. They enter the mansion. Izuku's remembering Hawks' words about how All for One can't steal One for All just yet. Like, if this is as written, if this is how the manga goes as written, what this is there to imply says that this was the setup to say that, oh, these guys thought this was the case. Look, they're wrong. The problem is that this thought is an assumption. These heroes are pros. They should know making assumptions is idiotic when it comes to quirks because they've already been burned by it. So if this is all to say that, if this is Horikoshi's way of saying like, oh guys, look, they made a bad assumption here. They were wrong. It's because of this assumption that they got in trouble. It's like, this is not complex. This is a stupid mistake. They shouldn't have made the assumption. They should have gone in with a plan and contingencies. Oh, chapter ends the ball line. The endless ill will. His target is the boy. The endless ill will. His target is the boy. Okay, so like that says that he's still going after Izuku. He's 100% still going after Izuku. Maybe his dangerous is only good for me, danger, not potential dangers. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. We'll find out next chapter. Take me to the boss hero. Sure, we'll do that. But first, we gotta confront All for One. You don't mind waiting to do the overhaul? Because the force of an explosion is probably more damaging to Izuku than the sports festival attack from Todoroki. Yeah, you would hope so, right? But then, Izuku's also the same person that was able to redirect an explosion from Bakugo up into the sky without getting really hurt. So Izuku wasn't hit by the shockwave of Bakugo's explosion. It's just Horikoshi doesn't depict explosion damage really well in the first place. Like, even Shoto survives howitzer impact without problem, right? Like, shockwave damage, we all know shockwave damage is one of the most dangerous parts of an explosion, but you never really get that. Not to mention the rules that govern All for One and One for All are so loose. Woody's comment is going to be like, some nice flowers the other day, and I was inspired. Yeah, maybe. Okay, guys, it's almost midnight for me. Let's start wrapping up. What do you guys think overall? I'm kind of underwhelmed. This isn't super exciting. Like, an explosion isn't super exciting. Not when it's at the end of the chapter. Could you imagine if Nagant brought Izuku to the meeting place and All for One came in the hologram? He would have exploded Nagant with Izuku. I don't think he would have been like, oh, okay, sorry, Nagant. Or like, oh, I got a different plan for... Well, he might have. He might have had a different plan, but I'm being mean. Ever since the beginning, I thought the plan was kind of weird, but now it gets even weirder. It's almost as if they had none at all once they found All for One's location. And that was when he didn't know how to control one. So now this is nothing. Nah, like if there is a time skip here, the time skip is where they have the big plan of what they're gonna do here. All might die. Izuku injured, carried by Endeavor. Aizawa faced with the class. The chapter is better than whatever the hell the anime is doing right now. Jason, that just got me off guard. Yeah, man, I'm confused how you say you're in volume 12. God, Mega. What is confusing about that? Let's see. Did I get the numbers wrong again? Because I don't know the numbers for Shield Hero very well. Let's see. Light novels. Where is Shield Hero? Let's see. Did I get myself confused? 1 second. I gotta look through these ebooks, see which one I'm at. Oh yeah, no, it's not volume 12. I got the numbers wrong again. Is it volume 11? Now I've got to just work back. Ebook, ebook, ebook. Ebook viewer. Let's figure this out. Where am I in Shield Hero? Oh, okay. I'm right at the start of volume 10. Wait, is it? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I'm right at the start of volume 10. There we go. Cool. There we go. Fix that. Alright, let's see. The chapter feels like filler. Holy Coast has been watching way too many Michael Bay films. We gotta recommend them as I call that in real time. So now that we have even more spoilers, Trip, what are your thoughts on my theory that All For One is the main villain of this arc? I believe it a little bit more. I believe it a little bit more for sure. Yeah, I believe it a little bit more for sure. This is the most underwhelming chapter in a while. I wonder how long is the time skip? Probably a day or two. Poor Koshi is rushing so much. At this point, we could have an entire season of flashbacks and would actually probably be necessary. It has been pretty good for a long, so I don't mind too much. Not every chapter is going to be a hit, I suppose. Because you said after meeting each other, wasn't that like volume 8 on Kizuna's world? Oh, okay, yeah, no. So apologies there, Mega Green. I just don't remember the numberings. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I finished volume 9. So I'm probably right at volume 10. I mostly feel underwhelmed by Shizaki, but then again, I could never really see how he was going to get used in this arc either. Yeah, but yeah, sorry, Mega Green Kirby. I just get really confused with the numbers for Shield Hero. I don't know why. They're not that hard, but they just throw me off quite a bit. But I have up to volume 14 on my computer, so I'll get through it eventually. But yeah, apologies. That's my mistake. So Alex is feeling pretty good there. Okay, fair enough, Alex. I think it'll be fair to say that at Sushi probably the spoilers don't do the chapter justice. There's probably a few more little things that are probably more interesting in there. Vocal is making some great treats for these spoilers. Is he? I scorched my clothes with a blast 1/3 of Kachan's explosion. Really, he thought that would hurt me. Yep. Volume 10 starts with Nafumi about to return. Yep. Yeah. Overall, I think... Oh! Fully vaccinated Canadians could be free of quarantine after travel. Oh, okay. By July. Okay. Yeah, just after they return. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on volume 10 here. I think that is where I am, because that's where I was planning on picking up. I have my little thing bookmarked here, so I think I must have looked through this for the images, so I'm pretty excited. Oh, good. I think I left the bookmark here, but yeah, I feel like My Hero Academia getting the Food Wars treatment. It's hard to predict that. Like for Food Wars, you gotta kind of look at. I'd have to look at more chapters to see it, but for this one, like to me, this just feels like Horikoshi hiding things in flashbacks. Looks like All for One also made a deal with the mansion. The mansion's soul is far too fickle, which is why I added a failure clause to your contract. The moment you let him in, you were gonna die. Oh yeah, Alex, definitely. Like a chapter Hero Academia always brightens day. Like at these points, like if you imagine reading it in a volume, not reading it week to week, the reaction is very different. It's just like, oh yeah, whatever. Like this is just a transition chapter. The only thing that bothers me, Alex, and this has nothing to do with Hero Academia. It just has to do with the cliffhanger. It's just going to be another example of if it gets reversed next week. It's another example of just bad cliffhangers. If the next week starts with a flashback, that's going to be even more annoying. Just because like I don't appreciate the style, but this isn't an attack at Hero Academia. It's an attack at the style. I'm gonna have to see like I'm excited to see like the fallout of Nagant there and that kind of stuff. What do you think of Food Wars? Oh man, Mega Green Kirby. I really like Food Wars, man. But the last the last arc of the manga is so compromised because of the fact that it was getting canceled that it's really good to look at it as a case study of what happens when a manga is being canceled in Shonen Jump. And like I like the situation with the Food Wars situation because the anime fixed a lot of the things I was going to criticize because those were the funniest, stupidest things I've ever seen in my life for Food Wars. I really miss the edge that the anime skipped out on. But yeah, I really liked Food Wars. I feel bad for the ending just because it got rushed and got compromised. He spares with Bakugo and Shoto just practice. I'm a degenerate and I'm proud. Speechless. Text, stop ruining my jokes. Oh yeah, I'm a degenerate and proud too. Bleach was the same. Bleach was much better to read in volume than week to week. Yeah, like if I recall, Bleach had it was a little bit slower. Like I don't think I could. To me, like the only Shonen Jump series that I could ever talk about a lot were Shokugeki no Soma and My Hero Academia. Those are the only series that really have a lot of dialogue. Everything else is a little bit more vapid. No disrespect to them, it's just different pacing, right? So those are the only series I really have that I could go at length about. Because Hero Academia is really dense, and Horikoshi's like a pretty good, like in gen, like Horikoshi's like top tier. Oh, Akko, yeah, man, we've been talking about spoilers the entire time, man. And yeah, Alex is like, I agree with the cliffhangers being somewhat irritating, unnecessarily withholding info. Yeah, but I'm bothered by the cliffhangers, but the cliffhangers is part of the game. It's part of the style. It's part of Shonen Jump. If you're not doing cliffhangers, you're probably gonna go down in your rankings a little bit. It's kind of like how on YouTube and selling books, you need to have like a really pretty cover. For Shonen Jump, you need to have a really good cliffhanger, or a really good ending to get people talking about it and get the buzz going up so your series stays alive. Don't think he has to do it, but it's okay. Like we'll see. Like the worst case scenario with these kind of things is like if he overuses the cliffhanger, he will get into a situation where fans will eventually start saying like, stop reversing things that you do one chapter, and it's like it's not fair. It's like it's just the style that he's going about doing it. I think my favorite vocal speech for the spoilers is All for One trying to sink the Baku Deku ship by making Ryuko traumatized by explosions. I for one think that's a really bold strategy. It's not going to make him scared of explosions. He's going to dive in. Like, Izuku's the kind of person that will see an explosion and will dive into it 100%. That kid's crazy. Which page usually generates the... Oh, I see a tweet from Horikoshi here. Let's see, what did Buddy Guy write for Horikoshi? Horikoshi's comment for this week of I often mistake the left-right shirt button position for men and women when drawing, so I'll just consider it as diversity. Yeah, I would too. I'd mistake it too. I'd mistake it really often. No, that's fair. That's a fair problem. That's a fair problem to have. I respect that. I definitely respect that. Thanks, Horikoshi. When you say cancel, do you like today's meeting have canceled and for what? Oh no, Joe. Shokugeki no Soma was canceled because it was doing pretty poor in the ratings. Like it started going down, it just wasn't a good time, and then it got axed, and so they have to, when they get axed, they have like a certain amount of chapters that they gotta get done by. Oh, even my internet's crapping out, guys. Guys, we're gonna start wrapping it up because the internet's crapping out. So I'll also start saying goodnight to you guys. He is top tier until he has the right female character as the Mirko. Alright, it's been heading to bed. Good night, Alex. Excited for Inazuma? 100%. Time skip, then the explosion cliffhangers were the negatives for me this chapter. I saw the spoilers for. They're gonna do. It looks like an Akko. Horikoshi's evil with these weekly comments. But yeah, guys. It looks like aliens are starting to get me. I don't know why. We're gonna start calling it. I also did when I drew a female character in uniform military. Yeah. But yeah, guys. So have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna let you know. Remember, tomorrow I might not be on stream because I have to do social obligations. So if I'm not here, apologies. But this was very fun. The universe kind of conspired here, and we got to talk about the spoilers. But yeah. Otherwise, stay safe, everyone. Stay cool. Stay frosty. Who was the one that Vistrio? You put a video for me to check out. Video suggestions. I'll do that tomorrow. So everyone, stay safe. Good night to Joe, Miguel, AN683, Sarge, Matt, Ty, XL Plus, Alex, Kevin, White Despair, Random's Gone, Mega Green Kirby, Going Rogue. Yeah, guys, and there's 29 people on here. Vistrio, have a good night, everyone. Let's hope the alien. Oh, Chris, have a good night, Chris. Let's hope that the aliens don't get me here. Ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You secretly pulled up the A World page. Yeah, I did. Oh, and got your White Despair. Noted. Anyway, everyone, thanks for being here. Till next time. I'm gonna go close that alien page. Have a good night. 5, 4, 3, 2.